Ahoy, crypto pirates! Welcome to your Discourse Syndicate RG3 here all alone until my sidekick shows up. How the hell are you guys doing? I hope all the Hexicans are doing well. I know that Hexo went long today. He had a freaking badass stream. Calling out some of the fudders. And looks like we've got somebody in a pickle right now, don't we? Mr. Pickles. What a bunch of fools out there. So what do we got going on in the chat room? So the reason I went live tonight, guys, is because I'm hoping I can get some of the guys that are coming. We're doing a meetup tomorrow here in SoCal. Kind of a bad time, I think, with the COVID, but we're all good. RG's test came out negative. I just had a bad flu, but no big C. So we're gonna have our meetup tomorrow, and hopefully some of us can get on here. I'm feeling great, guys. I had the vitamin D3 and what else was with it? I forget. I had a lot of zinc, C like crazy, thousands of milligrams of C. I was taking CBD oil. Doing the whole thing, and man, I feel great. I feel freaking great. As long as you do the right stuff, man, get some rest. The no rest thing for the 24-hour kind of sucked, but we're all good now. We're all good. Let me open a couple of things here. I'm going to open up Telegram. This camera, man, one of these days, I'm going to get this fixed. One of these days real soon. Wow, this is really bad. Why are you giving me a hassle? Let me check my settings real quick on this thing. See if maybe I did a little finagling with the, oh man, this thing drives me nuts. Frequency, backlight. Let's see if I turn that off. No, that ain't helping none. Anyway, oh, hey. Maybe that did it. I'm telling you, just a little setting or something in here, and you can. This camera's sensitive. I don't know if everybody knows, but like webcams are through the roof. If you try and get like one of these, even one of these old Logitechs right now, because of the COVID thing and everyone being home and everybody live streaming and shit, they're like through the freaking roof. If you've got one, you can almost dump them on the eBay for hundreds of dollars more than they're worth. I mean, seriously, you can't get them on what do you call it, on Amazon right now because they're so in demand. So anyway, I'm going to go into the chat and chat with you guys for a little bit. So the reason why we're doing the stream tonight, DC is going to come in here in a minute, and probably some of the guys are going to go to the meetup or whatever. But the reason we're doing the stream today is because we are about to hit VP on DLive, and we want to what do you call it, get the amount of streams that we're supposed to have in. We want to get those done so that we can go ahead and qualify for that. So we're ready to go. You guys have helped us do that. Not sure really what it actually means to be a VP. I don't know if it comes with anything special, to be honest. But
it's another milestone, right? Another milestone. Let me go into Telegram here real quick. I'm going to drop the. Hey, Bran, thanks for the diamond, bro. We appreciate you always supporting the show. You know what? I want to say something about some of the people in the community while I'm here. Bran, for instance. So, Bran, when I was out in Seattle, I got to go meet up with Bran, and what a good guy. Freaking salt of the earth kind of guy, hardworking guy, kind as can be, and man, it was cool hanging out with Bran for just going to grab dinner and kick it. So, and we had a little sticker. I think at VP you get your own stickers. Oh, I'm gonna need somebody to make some stickers then, because I ain't no good at that. I am not any good at that stuff. I did a little bit of the Discourse Syndicate stuff, but I haven't made I haven't made stickers and stuff, so I don't even know how to do that. Yeah, Bran is a class act. So the other thing about Bran, not only is he freaking awesome human being and sexy as fuck, by the way, Bran, you beast, you. Anyway, he is always supporting, always, giving to every community, not just us, but to Hexo, to, whenever I see him on another stream, another Hexkin stream, he's always being very generous. So you're an inspiration to the community, Bran. Well, look who's here. It looks like I got DC. What's up, dude?
Oh, camera's acting weird. What the hell? Oh, there we go. Yo,
mine's doing the flashy thing again. I got to get rid of this.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Kong, for the diamond. Bran for all the ice creams and lemons and shit, man. He's probably donated a whole couple of ski jets to us.
Ski jets.
We renamed them. They're not Ninjets anymore. Hexo said today they're called ski jets.
Ski jets. All right.
Yep. Ross Hex said, easy with the Hexual innuendo about Bran. RG3 makes me really uncomfortable. Do you have a little thing for Bran? Is that what you're telling me, Ross?
I'm like, yes.
you got a little thing for Bran. I saw him first. Let's see. Maybe your camera is getting a short or something. It might be. It might be. I've got some faulty wiring and shit in here. Let me say hello to some people in there. Danny, N6632. RG is dope. Thank you. And welcome to the show. Hexarican. I love that name. One of these days, man. One of these days, I'm going to be on the beaches of Puerto Rico, just flinging hex.
Flinging out there.
So Ross says, no, I'm just saying I'm not gay. Haha. He's all yours, RG3. That was a given. You ain't coming in here and taking my brand away from us. That's just not going to happen. Didn't say anything about gay though. I just compliment Bran. That's all I do. I don't know why it has to go gay. I'm just being very, very nice to Bran. Very, very,
There's some people out there that just wish they could be their true selves and they can't,
Let's see. Hexo renamed a few things today, huh? Pole rug. No, he didn't call it a pole rug. He called it a roll pug. He called it a roll pug. He was trying to say rug pull and he called it a pole rug. Oh, he called it a doggone it. Now I forgot what he freaking said. A roll pug. Roll pug. He said roll pug. And he never even noticed he said it, but it was a roll pug. So I like roll pug better than rug pull. Roll pug. Yeah, a little non-gay man, Bran action. You're right. Nothing gay about it. Yeah, nothing. There was nothing. Yeah. Pickle pullers. Oh boy, pickle pullers. Hector the Protector. What's up? Very, 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 very nice. XCOM. Pull roll. Pug roll. A pug roll. Okay. We'll have to go back and listen to the stream and see exactly what he says. So it's either a pug roll or a roll pug.
Look at bedwetter. About 8 months ago, my wife flipped her shit on me and said she never wanted to hear the word hex again until 2 million was in the bank.
Well, you know what sucks is like
Females.
You know,
They
dude,
really,
you are never ever gonna get yourself in good shape with a woman if you don't knock your shit off. You've got a so into the fire. I still love you, RG3. That man is hurt but bad. He's got a badly hurt butt. Into the fire was like, he had 3 entries in the wheel.
Man. Yeah, that's rough.
And so I was playing with the reel before the show, and he came up twice. And I wasn't gonna tell anybody, but I told Into the I went ahead and let it out there for Into the Fire, so he knew that I picked him twice on the wheel. But he said he still loved me, so I'm sorry, bro. I was crying tears all night, RG3. Oh, what dude, you got a lot of requests for they want you to sing the end song, but in Mickey's voice. They want you to do Mickey's voice. So make sure you have a song tonight so that you can run Mickey's voice and do it like that. So
I was thinking about that, but I'm just trying to find lyrics to the song because like certain words are a little easier to say than others in the voice.
Into the Fire. I was crying tears all night. RG, his 3 entries went into the Batum TSS rugged. He got rugged. He got pug rolled. Into the Fire doesn't matter. Hex tears. Women do suck. And that the ones that do. Oh my God. Did you really say that? Inventing Freedom. Oh my God. These people. Sammy Bouchica. Wow. Oh, Into the Fire. It doesn't matter. That's who said that. Women, let's see. Hex Kong. Is that when you rigged it to go to your name, RG3? Well, even Sammy. My Sammy.
Wow.
My Sammy.
Sammy. Wow.
My Sammy. Man. I know I talked to Richard today. I said, man, this whole freaking giveaway thing is tough, man. He goes, yeah, man, giveaways are tough. They're tough. He goes, everybody calling you a scammer. You scammed them out.
Give it away.
I said,
give it away, Hex.
I said, yeah, bro. I said, I'm getting all these DMs. Everyone's pissed, and and I said, it's all in fun. I said, it's cool. I don't really care. I said, it doesn't help though that Ski Cat said, hey, put yours and Hexo's name on the wheel and spin it. And
you know what it should have been? It should have been you and Hexo, 2 sides of the wheel. Your own solo wheel. You're like RG Hexo, RG Hexo.
That would have been that would have been messed up.
The whole chat room starts taking fucking bids on like who's gonna win it and shit. We are gonna take.
What me and Hexo would have did though?
What?
We'd say, hey, bro, we'll split it. Hey, but I do want to say what was very cool about today. Was giving that shit away, man.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, I gave away 30 grand in fucking Hex today to people, and the emails that I got, and the messages I got from these guys. I mean, JB20 Joel, his name is Joel Butler. I sent him 555,000 Hex, bro. 555,000. What's that worth right now? Throw it up there.
Right now, I'll tell you right now, sir. Bam. 555?
Yeah, 555,000.
It's about 2,400.
24. So fourth place was $2,500, right? So Joel, thank you for being so gracious and so patient. I'll tell I'm not gonna say the fucking story, man. I'll let
Yeah.
Albert Graham.
Yeah.
he and I same thing, man. He got 555,000, so like $2,500 in Hex, and it was super super cool to give it to him. They were both so gracious and happy. And then Mousetrip. I mean, Mousetrip's just freaking. I love Mousetrip. He's always got the greatest comments, and you know, when he first came in here, he was talking shit to me, so I knew he was a pirate. So he had to get his banhammer like that day.
Hell yeah! I want to thank the guys with the banhammers for keeping the chats under control.
Yeah.
Thank you for real, dude. There's some bitch made ass motherfuckers, you know, in this world, man, that can't control themselves and stuff, and say all this fucking nonsense to people that they don't see that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, why does this chat keep moving on me? I don't want it to move. Stop. So those two guys in Mousetrip won 1,111,000 Hex, and he was gracious and just a good soul, man. Mousetrip, you're cool, bro. Glad you got that million, man. That 1,000,001, that was cool. And what's cool is it was all, you know, we had a lot of people from just DLive jumping on, but we had Hexicans all that actually won it. And then the other one was Nate J, and we had Nate J on last night.
Yeah,
dude, he was crying. He was so excited when I finally got it to him today. You know?
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I'm going out to celebrate right now. This is freaking badass. I can't believe it. I mean, that was 15 grand like of Hex right there. Just boom, 3,333, close to 15 grand, something like that. Just one shot, boom, it's in his wallet. And he's like, I can't fucking believe this right now. I can't believe this right now. I'm like, dude, I'm so happy for you. Well, you know what sucked about the whole thing is that I had to receive it all at one time, and I had that whole freaking bag inside my wallet at one time. It was like 30K.
Making calculations.
I was like, So 30K. That all went out to everybody today. And of course, you know, got a milli here. And
Hex Staker said it the best. That's life-changing money.
It is, man. It is. It was really cool. And it was awesome to be able to give that stuff away. I mean, I don't have that kind of scratch to give away. Not right now anyway. But the thing, bro, is that Hex. Think about it. So like imagine if some freaking show back when Bitcoin first started gave away 3 million Bitcoin.
Which they didn't because they're greedy fucks. But yeah.
Imagine, you know, like
imagine,
back when it was a penny and shit, you know, and when it was nothing, you know, and that's going to be epic one day. Somebody's going to say, you know how much they gave away in that show? It's going to be like one of the most epic giveaways in crypto history, I think. That 3 million win is big. I mean, where else do you get 15K in a cryptocurrency? Not much. RG not feeling Hexarican RG not feeling my username. Yeah. No, I said I did. I am, man. I want to go there. I want to go there, man. I'm feeling it much. Let's see.
Oh, hey, Captain, we're good to go for the one thing we talked about earlier.
For tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I was telling everybody that we might have a couple of the guys out here tomorrow because we're supposed to have a meetup, you know, so that's cool. Let's see. We'll stream it. We'll stream it, bro. We'll stream it.
Okay.
We'll stream. Let's see. Let me see. I can do a solid Mickey Hex Kong says. Okay. Freddie Quotes writes bars. I don't get it. DLive still streaming well on mobile. Still not streaming well on mobile. It should be. I don't have any problems doing it on mobile. I'll watch Hexo's show on DLive's mobile when I'm like out in the yard or in the garage or something. Let's see if somehow have a hammer now. Keep it clean, please. So yeah, let me talk about that real quick. So I got a couple of DMs about the cleanliness of the chat room and how people are appreciating, keeping that shit out of there. And yeah, it's not going to be tolerated. I won't tolerate any, hate speech or racism or any of that shit.
Yeah.
Toilet talk,
Sure.
and all that kind of stuff, and sexism either way is okay because the women can hold their own. I know they can. So you guys can go ahead and blast each other that way if you want, I guess. But just realize that, it's coming from both sides. Our girls are pretty damn tough. They will fuck you up. Let's see. Careful, inviting freedom. Somehow I haven't. Okay. Joker had a cow with the wheel of death. Oh man, I bet he got missed too. And man, Mama Rock got missed a little bit. That was.
Oh, wasn't it just one before what the winner, right?
Yeah. And I was calling out the names, and people were saying that every time I was calling out their names, they were going to get it. It was breaking their hearts. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
I'm only happy that Motley didn't win. That was my joy in my heart.
I'm glad Motley didn't win. I'm glad that fucking guy Kinetics didn't get it either.
Oh,
but he didn't even get on the wheel, so. Oh, okay. Should you check out DRG3? You should check out DRG3. Okay. Who's D? I don't know yet.
Motley.
I got scammed. I didn't win Hex. Yeah, you sure did, Kinetics. A lot of broke motherfuckers getting salty. Sad but true. Thanks for the hardship. It's a hammering. Oh, does that mean you're a mod? They're laughing at him. Yeah. Yep. So I made somebody. What's up with Nagabo? Salty as fuck. You know what?
Yeah. That's
so Nagabo. We had him on one time, and he was cool, right? I mean,
yeah, he was nice, cool. Yeah, he was actually a little more reserved than he is in his videos too. Yeah, he was pretty calm down because I had only seen one video of his. And then I started watching a lot more afterwards to see what he was talking about. And dude's a moon boy. Seems smart to me, like the guys knows how to play that character,
Uh-huh.
And I honestly don't. I haven't watched his channel probably in a few weeks and stuff. So I don't know what's going on with him. But from what I've heard, he got shook up a little bit from the big payday. I think
he's butthurt. Butthurt. But probably. I know why. I mean, I know exactly why. Look, Nagabo is he chases the freaking dreams, man, and he hits them and he moves on, and he hits them and he moves on, and he hits them and he moves on, and he gets airdrops, and he stays in the know on the crypto. And he's I mean, shit, he did his last stream from Vegas, right? I mean, so
he Vegas and lost a few bags. Ooh, okay, not just. Yeah.
So he might have been a little upset out there in Vegas. I don't know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Nagabo has a mentality and a disposition on crypto, and you can tell even when he came on stream, the stuff that we were saying. I could tell he wasn't comfortable because the stuff we were saying was kind of going over his head, and we got to be careful about that because Hex in crypto is complicated. Now, I can teach a no corner about Hex better than I can teach a crypto degenerate about Hex.
Right.
Because they have preconceived ideas and notions about what crypto is and what DeFi is and what a staking coin is. And so they don't understand. First of all, they've been rug pulled, they've been beat the fuck up. So they're like battered people, they're all, what do you call that? They got PTSD and shit. And as soon as you start talking, technicals to them, they're going, okay, here comes all the stuff that they're going to tell me about to make me all excited about it. So they just kind of like let it fly by, right?
Yeah.
Instead of listening and retaining and trying to understand, they let all this shit fly by. It's like, oh yeah, I've heard all that shit before. Wow. What you don't realize is that, it's really here now. It's really here. All those things are really here. So I think that was just it. Naga didn't really understand what was going on and wasn't capable of hearing what we were saying. What do you think?
I'm just wondering if he staked or not, because I think you'd be less mad if he staked.
Well, I bet he was staked up until yesterday.
Well,
That's. I mean, think about it. I saw the disappointment, and he was like, "My bags are shit." You know, I was supposed to get 2 bitches, and I got a half a bitch. And you know, he was looking at the size of his bags because, again, everybody's staring at that big payday. You know, that lost leader that was sitting down there. That number, man, that number. Shouldn't have been looking at it. Shouldn't have been looking at it.
Yeah, it's
So
I mean, like, to be honest, right? I thought the big payday was going to be a tiny bit higher. Even myself, I thought.
Of course, we all did. We all did.
We all did, right? I mean, I thought maybe it was going to be like a 2x, even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
I'm not going to say that I wasn't. There wasn't a little air taken out of my bag, you know, when that happened.
Yeah.
I felt it. I was because, you know, we were getting so close, and it was like, for the longest time, I was like, "No, it's going away. Don't even look at it. It's going away. It's going to change. Staking percentage is going to go up." You know, and then as we got closer and closer, it's like, man, can we be like at, you know, maybe 20%, you know, and this thing freaking rocks, 28%, 30%. Man, that's gonna be nice. And then, you know, in a matter of seconds, it went hopes and dreams, you know, down the toilet.
I think Vince Chan just
so for that split second, it was like, you know,
yeah.
But then you got to realize, and it's like, well, it doesn't mean anything. Freaking big payday ain't shit. It's all the setting up that we did over the last year, all the talking, all the learning, all the figuring out shares, all the figuring out staking ladders, all the strategies that we put together, all the things that we've talked about here, you know, and even some of the stuff that we offered to Hex. So all the Hexkins that came on this show and talked, and Crypto Coffee and Big Pep and Silver and all these people doing their shows, you know, and putting all that information out there, just really taught everybody what to do with their stakes. So there's a lot of educated Hexkins that right before big payday were staked proper. I mean, our Genesis shares are staked proper, man. People took care of those things. So those people that did stake, that 12% of people, I'm going to say probably about 5% of them are staked really, really well. You know?
Yeah, I would, for sure. And here's a little incentive for you too.
God damn, that's awesome.
It's awesome, dude. And it's amazing because we get all that inflation as well, just to a small subset. It's 5%. It's like 5% of the Hex population is getting that 3.69. You know, along with all the emergency end stake bonuses too, on top of that, and the big payday bonuses for the Genesis shares at least. And for the guys not with Genesis shares, the rest of it's still, that's plenty, and that's quite a lot and stuff. So if you can just make it without emergency end staking, I'm gonna keep banging this fucking drum. The emergency end stakes to be used certain occasions and carefully, right? But try not to.
It's exactly what the name implies. Emergency. And it's red for a reason, and it says emergency.
Yeah.
Now, we talked a lot on this show about the tool, having that tool available to us, you know, but we always did say that's only good before big payday. Well, big payday is over, so it is really no longer a tool. It is an emergency end stake button now.
Right.
It is an It should have been called the unfuck yourself button before, the unfuck your stakes button before. If you fucked him up, there's, you know, like Hex Kong, he was like, from day one, man, he was like digging in my shit all the time. He was sending me DMs and saying, yeah, you should have staked proper. You should have staked like I did. You should have done long on the beginning. Yeah, whatever. Shut the fuck up. So I know Kong, he's got his shit staked right, because he's been ribbing me from like day one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he staked like after he FOMO bought in, probably, you know, he staked proper. So Hex Kong is he's good, because he was always giving me shit when I was telling people what to do, and as far as, you know, hey, if you screwed up your stakes, then you can fix them like this, you know.
I'm like, I got my daily stakes, and didn't you know, I fucked up my ladder, and I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
I got
shit.
coming out every fucking year. That's
Yeah, Lurker. Yeah, Kong was Yoda. Kong was the original OG Yoda. OG Yoda, baby. OG Yoda. Now he's Kong. So let's see. Kareem understands what's going on. Johnny No Good. Kareem understands what's going on. He does. We did have to correct one of the things that he was talking about as far as doing the good accounting feature. We've all been really educated on that. But yeah, man, my man Kareem is fucking guys down. He's got his shit together and he knows what he's talking about, and he's fire. He throws heat. He's fire, and hopefully we can get him on the show here on Wednesday. I'm gonna try and bring him on the show so we can have a one-on-one talk with him and really dig into that man's brain and bounce some stuff off each other. So that's gonna be cool. Having him on the 24-hour was like, you got 10 guys on the panel and this guy's spitting fire, so it was kind of hard to like be able to just sit down and get him. See, yo, RG, let me in the stream. All right, Kareem, you want to come in now, bro? Okay,
Kareem Gate.
we will bring Kareem in here for a minute. Let me find him. Let me
go get a drink then, man. I need a shot a little bit here, Kareem. He makes me FOMO too, dude. I thought I was the moon boy, but Jesus.
Yeah. No, I'll bring him in. Let's see. Where is my Kareem? Here, let me type it in here in the Telegram. Kareem. There he is. My man. Spitting fire, baby. Spitting fire. Freaking love this guy, man. Love this guy. I have to call him guy because I call most of the people younger than me kid, and I don't want it to sound disrespectful, but I just call you guys kid a lot. So, but I don't want to do that. There you go, Kareem. There's the link there. Hopefully your audio and everything's good. So let's see here. Carlos Mata. DLive's mom with 87 viewers is now hosting Discourse Syndicate. DLive's mom, you are awesome. You're awesome. You're like, not only are you my buddy Joker's mom, but you're like DLive's mom. DLive's mom.
Is that DLive's mom?
It's DLive's mom. She just hosted us.
Oh, DLive's mom's cool as hell.
And hey, thank you all you Discourse Syndicate followers that went over there and followed her, and she helped get her VP. That was very cool, you guys, and she appreciated it so much. And she's a real pillar of the DLive community, and we love her because she's Joker's mom too, and she's just cool. Yeah. Let's see here. DLive's mom just donated 1 Ninja Guinea. Thank you for the Ninja Guinea. I tried, you know what, DLive's mom? I tried to do a bunch of subs over there to donate them to, but I don't know what happened. I hit the button and then it wouldn't let me put any more in. I don't know if it came over. So I'll go back and get you again. Hey, Mama Rock just put an ice cream in. Mama Rock in the house too. Hoo. Mama. Yeah, they were just streaming over there. There's Joker. My buddy Joker is over there. And who else? Hey, Mama Rock. So yeah, you guys, the community is cool. Everybody gets together and we support one another. And so DLive's mom just hosted everybody onto this channel. So for those of you that are coming from DLive mom, thank you. And hopefully we can teach you something, because the next guy that's coming on here with us, between the three of us, we're going to have a pretty decent conversation, I think. There's going to be a lot of good information flying about what's going on right now with HEX. If you didn't get in HEX during the launch phase that we just had blow through, then you're gonna learn something, because we're gonna talk more about how HEX is gonna look in the future here from now on. Versus there was a different strategy, there was a different type of excitement, there was a different way of looking at HEX before the last few days. Now we're gonna start settling into what HEX and the community is going to start looking like in the future here. And this is one of the guys that is going to help take us into that future. And that's My man Kareem. What is up, Kareem?
What's up, RG? What
How
up,
you-
Double Cost?
What's up,
How
man?
you doing, bro? How you doing?
Good to see you guys. So emergency, I was like, because you told me Wednesday, and I was like, yo, you pop on my news feed on the YouTube.
We just decided to do a little impromptu. Just we've got to come up with a certain amount of streams.
Fire I want to share. Like I was thinking, like my brain when it just goes, like I just find a way to explain it even better for people for like the share price and the Genesis share. But more importantly, what you guys were talking about earlier about the big payday, I think again it was just like a good fake out. Because think about it, right? If you're staked for 15 years, no matter what happened, let's say you got 5x on a big payday, you still can't touch that fucking money. So the thing is, what's so genius is like we just want to see the real from the fake. Because I ran the number actually earlier today. There is about 16 million t-shirts that technically was supposed to expire yesterday that didn't, which means that's the beauty about time. Two things gonna happen. Either it gets good accounted or within the next 14 days, it's gonna start to bleed
out.
So for people who are new, what that means is that easy scenario, it gets good accounted, share price shoots up like a motherfucker.
So wait. Let me stop you there real quick.
Go ahead.
That doesn't happen. It doesn't affect the share price. What it does is it just puts it puts those shares in limbo. It pulls those shares from the pool so that they're no longer affecting the currently stakers pool. And it puts them in limbo. They do not go to ROI until you mint your coins. So they sit in limbo until the coins are minted. Then the ROI is realized, and that's when they affect the share price. But until
it does something, for the people that are still in the system, and I find the easiest.
It takes that share out of the pool, so they're no longer sucking from everybody else who's in there.
So let's talk about that. That was my little caveat secret. So I'm going to use an example, and I'm going to try to go as slow as I can. Okay, RG, can you pull up the hex.com website, please, on the screen? I want everybody to see this. Go to hex.com, hit the icon. I want to go to payout per t-shirt because this is going to be the key. And the people who hold Genesis shares, man, they're about to be fucking happy.
Let's see here. Let me see if I can keep my nudes from popping up here, like Richard Owens.
It's awesome.
Let's see here.
Yeah, that's a bleeding whale. That's the bleeding whale scenario, man. If that happens, man, that's a sweetener, bro.
Yeah,
because
I really want people to see why I love good accounting so much. So now, if you can go down a little bit and then zoom out on the payout per t-share number.
Go down and zoom out. Let me see here.
A little bit. So that little table, when it starts showing the tables with the daily payout, just the last 3 days.
Oh, last 3 days. There we go.
Just I want to show an example because I want people to understand that it's always like a day behind. So it sets up so that what you see the total T-shares, like right now we're at 26.5 million or whatever. As long as it stays like that, it will be set for the following day. So can you just zoom out for people to see?
I don't know if I can do that.
Because on my screen, I look at it, it is blurry. So I don't know if the stream can see it.
Let me see here.
Control and then push that little.
Let me see. Hold on a second. I'm on a Mac. It's different here. Let's see. Let's see. I'll get my boomer time. You know what? Eat shit dangerously. Eat shit, you motherfuckers. Let's see. I figure this might take a half hour for. Okay, I ain't fucking know. Let's see. Oh my God. All right, let me see. There's got to be a button to push, right? That makes it see translate.
Or everybody that's on the stream, if they can go to their website to pull that chart. I mean, worst case scenario, I just want them to see it.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me see if this will work. Huh? And how about? No, that didn't work. Man, that ain't gonna work. Let's see.
Everywhere I go.
Because what I'm about to drop, man, is so fire. Because good accounting is the best friend for the people that are still in the system, the Genesis shareholder, which are the true Hexicans. I mean, the long term, right? They didn't worry about collecting on big payday because they just know that big payday is just the beginning.
Well, I can't get this thing to blow up any bigger.
Let's just say we'll just play by ear, worst case scenario. And then anybody on the stream, if you can just go to that website and just look at the last 3 days, because I'm gonna explain something that's very, very important. And I'm gonna use two scenarios, okay, of before big payday.
Just hold control and hit plus a few times. Okay. All right. Thanks, Vince. Let me see if that'll work. There is okay. Yeah, that ain't doing it.
No, actually, it's getting better. RJ is getting better. Can you zoom out now? It's getting less blurry. I can see better.
I don't think so.
Now, just zoom out for the last 4 days.
There's got to be a fucking. How about this?
We're about to do.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
There you go.
It's command.
Quick maths, my favorite topic. That's awesome.
It's command.
All right, everybody, back to school. Pen and paper. Get ready.
So here we go. Let me scroll up now. Let me separate this so that I can scroll it and see everything at the same time. There we go. All right, there. So now, what do you want me?
Just
here,
up right there. Perfect. So this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna take two scenarios, okay? Two people that started with 100 shares, 100 T-shares, okay? Make a simple example. And then there's gonna be one guy that's gonna obviously collect the big payday and stake, and there's gonna be one guy that's gonna maintain in the system.
Yeah. Kareem, let me preface what you're gonna talk about first so that I can try and keep some of my DLivers that are on. There's some very new people on here. Okay. So what Kareem is talking about. So Hex does two things. It acts as a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. You can spend it, you can trade it, you can hold it, you can use it just like a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, or you can stake it. And when you stake it, that means turn it into a certificate of deposit or put into a time deposit that we call staking. Now, when you stake those coins, when you take your coins off the market and you put them in our staking into Hex, your own actually staking apparatus, the coins disappear. They get burnt. They're gone. And what you're given back is shares. And every day the share price changes and gets more expensive. So your shares become more valuable. So you're gaining value on those shares. So what Kareem is going to talk about right now is what happens to these shares during the situations that are occurring right now. So people who have you're going to hear the term Genesis shares. Those are the shares that were purchased before big payday. So he's going to probably give a lot of explanation about these Genesis shares. So if you are new and you did stake, he's going to be talking about those shares that you own. And if you aren't new, he's going to be talking about shares in general also, but you're going to get a little bit more in depth on what the Genesis shares are doing. This will still apply to you and still be part of your shares and what they will do in the future, but he's going to be talking about Genesis shares. So we're talking about shares right now, and that's what happens when you stake your Hex and they get burnt. Kareem, go ahead. Thanks.
Boom. Thank you so much. Okay, so to keep it simple, we're going to start on day 353. Harji, just highlight that for everybody to see. So There's two candidates, okay? They both start on that day. Let's say they collect, and they both have 100 T shares, okay? Trillion shares. And the payout, as you guys can see, says 1 Hex per T share. So those two individuals just got paid, let's say that day, 100 Hex. Everybody follows that?
Real quick. Tell everybody what a T share is.
A T share is a trillion. It's a trillion shares. So basically, in order to earn interest, you burn your Hex by buying what's called a T share, and it's based on the amount. So when you go on the staker tab, it tells you how much a T share costs based on the amount of Hex you'll have to burn in order to receive that T share.
Yeah. So not to confuse things with shares, a T share is just a trillion shares.
Yeah, it's just a trillion shares. It's what goes into the system for you to start earning interest. So to make it simple, let's say two people have 100 T shares. They started with the same amount of money. Okay, I just want to make that very basic example. Two people, same money. They got in at the same time. They bought 100 T shares each. First day gets in 353. it pays out one hex per t-share. So they got 100 hex interest that day. Now we're moving to day 354. What happened is, and let's say big payday pass, one guy stays in the system, the other guy decide to quote unquote, cash out, take some profit out. Now, to just let everybody know, the share price went up 44% overnight after that event. And the reason why it's significant is that when the guy that exited trying to re-enter the system with, let's say, the same amount of money that the other guy started with, he's not going to be able to buy that same 100 T-shares. He's going to be diluted by the difference of that 44%. So to keep it simple, that's what I use 100 T-shares. Now, with the same amount of money that the early guy had, he can only buy about 66 T-shares. Does everybody follow?
Mm-hmm.
Because the share price went up by 44%. Okay? Now you're entering a situation where early guy still got his 100 T-shares, cruise control to the next day. And the guy that earned stake and trying to get back in, made a mistake, whatever. Now he only has 66 T-shares. And moving to the second day, day 354, when it starts to pay $2 per T-shares, I want to keep it on the T-shares, not on percentage, so nobody gets confused, right?
T-share, right?
Yep. Now, the early guy, because he has 100 T-shares, he gets 210 hex that day in payout. But the other guy that literally just did that little in and out, because he's only at 66 T-shares, he only gets about 130 hex. Make sense?
It makes sense.
And this is where the separation start to happen. Now, imagine this exponentially over the next fucking 15 years, right?
Yep.
Now we move to day 355. It goes to 2.5, right? 2.5, 100 guys, 100 T-shares. He gets 259 hex. The guy with the 66 T-shares, right? Same thing. You do the math. He gets about 135. So not only it's different, but it starts to exponentially separate. Right. This is the reason why the guy that holds the Genesis share start to get stupid return. Okay. So when you start to say 11% APY, the reality is this is the data for the entire system of everybody in the pool, but not everybody have the same shares in the pool. And this is the reason why those Genesis shares are so important. And the reason why I like to talk about good accounting is that, yes, good accounting didn't reset the new share price, but that doesn't matter for the Genesis shareholder because he already got his T shares. Understand? So, and by removing those shares from the pool, what ended up happening, perfect example, from 54 to 55, you guys see how we went from 28 million to 26 million because some shares were removed, right? What ended up happening is the value of those Genesis T shares naturally start to become a greater ratio inside the pool. And this is how I was talking about that insane buying the dip while you're still being staked, because you start to gobble more inside the pool without having to unstake. And I just want to really bring everybody's attention. There's another 16 million T-shares that technically are done, but that haven't been either good accounted or bled out. We don't know what's going to happen. It can bleed over 2 years, or it can just overnight be good accounted. Because by the way, it can get good accounted or taken out, and then more new shares comes in at a higher price. Right. So this is why it's very important. I want to stress everybody's attention about explaining how important the share price increase is. And that's what I wanted to use that simple example of literally two people holding the same amount of T shares, but every time the share price goes up, when you re-enter the pool, you're getting less and less and less. And that makes your return actually less than what you see.
So what's the date? What's the date on those big stakes exiting?
When I was looking earlier,
they just did they go to count?
Some did, some didn't. So technically, it says on day 353, 354. So technically, they're already like 1 day overdue. So that's the beauty about time, right? Time doesn't stop for anybody. So no matter what happened, we're talking about 169 billion hex, guys, almost 170 billion. So in the next 14 days, two things are going to happen. Either it gets good accounted, which is good for the Genesis shareholder, like I just mentioned, because the moment he leaves the pool, you're already in the money, because now you're going to start gobbling from the inside. You don't even need about the share price going up, because you just get a bigger share in the pool. But either it gets good accounted or it's going to start to bleed. And what's going to happen is when it bleeds, you're going to start getting that kind of emergency unstake type money when the thing comes out. So it's just, and my speculation is that OA or whatever is saying, no, bro, you're going to get your 3X. You said you're going to stake for 15 years. So why are you tripping? I got you 2X right now, or, an extra stack, but I'm going to give you the rest. I just need to weed out the other fake out people, right? And either I'm going to nuke some account and get you paid, or I'm going to bleed it out. And by the way, worst case scenario, right? 2 weeks goes by, the thing start to bleed, and it bleeds for an entire 2 years. Who cares? You staked for 15
years. Don't care. That's for sure.
So basically, you're still getting it. And this is the thing, when I heard about this whole Naga bullshit, I'm like, dude, why are you tripping? Like you said you staked. Like, it's just, it blows my mind. And then when the other idiots start to blow up their account and unstaking and do all kinds of stuff, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if by 15 years, you might get, you heard this first, you might get 10x your big payday. 10. Because all kinds of stupid shit's going on, people blowing up their big payday bonus, plus good accounting is happening. You're getting a bigger share of the pool that you would have otherwise not get. I mean, you start to gobble up this thing like it's a joke. So it's I call it buying the dip while you're staked. So, and this is what it's very important. I want to urge everybody, those Genesis shares are very important. Okay, I call it Genesis 2.0. 1.0 already went by. We already know that. We went from 11K to 16K. You knew what to do. You didn't do it. We celebrated. Those are done. But those other 15 million plus, which, by the way, at any time, they can unstake. Like, it doesn't have to wait for anybody. They're already done. They already do. They're actually 1 day late. So if somebody's trying to game the system, I got another 2 weeks and I'm going to see what happens. Like, no. It could literally just unstake that shit tomorrow. We were at 11% stake before. People forget.
Do you have DLive pulled up?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Well, there's just a lot of questions are coming up in the chat. We need to start addressing them versus
good.
Because you're spitting out a lot, so there's a lot to ingest. So we want to make sure that everybody's you got it, Kareem, but these people want to understand a little deeper.
Got you.
So let's go over some of these questions. So
let's go.
Thanks for the diamond, Maddie. Maddie Allen dropped us a diamond and said Kareem is explaining super well. Okay, so this is an annual interest at 17%. This is annual interest? Question mark, 17%? Question mark. That's blue eyes.
Which day?
There's different APYs for the different days that the payouts for the different days. So there's a different APY every day. I'm lost after you started mentioning good accounting. Sorry, voice my ambition, but good accounting is the feature. So when your stake ends, comes to maturity, when it matures. So if you put it in for a year or 2 or 5 or even a week, whatever your maturity date is, when your maturity date comes up, you have an option to do a couple of different things. And one option is to just mint your coins. So you take your shares and you trade them back into the system and you get your coins, you get your HEX back. Whatever interest and everything is calculated and you get your HEX. If you stake before big payday, you're going to get your big payday bonus, whatever that is. So you'll receive that and realize the gains on those shares at that point. If you use what's called the good accounting feature, what the good accounting feature does is it pulls your shares out of the pool where it was actually it was diluting the pool for everybody else in that pool. So once those shares come out of there, it quits diluting, and those people that are still in the staking pool are now getting more based on you leaving. Whether it's a big amount or a small amount, they still get whatever you took out of the pool. They're still going to get more because you're gone. Now, if you hit the good accounting feature, what that does is you don't mint your coins. So there's a couple of things that it's good for. One is for, depending upon where you're from, it keeps you from creating a taxable event by not receiving the coins. So they actually sit in limbo. You still own the shares, but the shares are no longer in the pool. But what happens is you don't get ROI. You don't have a return on those coins or on those shares at that point because they are in limbo. They're just kind of sitting there waiting to be turned into coins. So they don't affect the share rate because as shares are traded back in for HEX, the share rate goes up based on the highest percentage of ROI that's attained to date. So every time a new ROI is achieved, then the rate goes up as far as what those shares cost. But if they're sitting in good accounting, then they don't trigger that. They're just in limbo. So you're not collecting interest. Yes, you're not collecting interest anymore. It freezes your account where it's at.
Your shares are still there at that point. But let's just say you good accounted, and for some reason you un a good accounted 2 years later, when the share rate's already moved on at that point because you've had it in the good accounting for such a long time. So remember that as well when you're good accounting, right? If you could, let's just say you good accounted, cool, it's safe, and you just forget about it for 6 months, the share price doesn't wait for anybody. It just keeps rising.
Yeah,
exactly.
It just keeps rising.
Exactly. Another thing that I can try and explain again in simple word for everybody, look at it this way. Let's say right now, or ever since you were staked and you went on the app and you see the average, let's say you were averaging 25% APY. Okay. Let's just give a basic example. Doesn't matter what the days are, some days 30, some days 20 or whatever. But let's just say when you go to the go.hex.com/stake and you look at the overall number that shows APY over the last X amount of days you've been in the system, 300 days or whatever. Let's say it says 25% before big payday. Okay. So you were chugging along at 25% APY, cruise control, everything's great. But then let's say along the way, you unstake early, whatever, you let's just say you took a lower time frame. And then in that same time frame, when you returned the shares and you collected your coins, you went to restake, okay? But then the share price, for example, went up, let's say 50%, just to keep it simple, went up 50%, okay? And the overall system is still paying at 25% APY. That's what it's telling you. But the reality is, yes, the overall system pie is paying at 25% APY annually, but because you lost half your share, your net APY is only 12.5%. That's what I use that example of. You used to have 100 T shares like the other guy that never unstaked. And let's say today was a 2.5 hex per T share. So you guys used to get 250 hex per day payout. But then all of a sudden you unstaked, that guy stayed, and you lost half the shares because the share price went up 50%. When you go back in and those 2.5 T shares are being paid, but because you only have half the share, you only get half that. And that's what most people don't understand.
Yeah.
Because you got kicked out of the pool.
Right.
And then by the time you're trying to come back in, like Dollar Cost perfectly said, share price doesn't wait for you. You just basically pick up whatever the price is set that day. So this is why I urge everybody. And I love what Maddie had earlier. I was on the stream for like a couple hours after Hexo. He shared a little bit some of his ladder, which was great. His biggest stake was the latest one. That's super fucking smart. Okay. My biggest stake, I'm talking about like 5 times bigger. 5 times is the 555. It's like Kareem, that's the one, like, listen, survival mode. Like, forget about it. It's like, that one thing by itself can end up being just like the chart. Because as it dilutes everybody else, it just naturally becomes stronger and stronger. So that's why it's super important to understand the effect of that dilution. And the reason why I want to talk about this today is because we have about a 2 weeks window before those things start to bleed, or whoever doesn't want to bleed might just say, hey, I'm gonna take them out. And if it does, it went up 44% only with 14 million T-share out. There's another roughly 16 million. It's about 170 billion that's sitting there that hasn't been either good accounted or expired, which means if those were to come out, and by the way, they can come out anytime, that will put in another 40%. So we could end up being at 20,000, 22,000 hex per T-share. And guess what? What that means is pre-big payday, it was about 11,000. If we go from 11,000 to 22,000, that means that the share price doubled, which means, again, in my example, the guy that used to have 100 T shares that he got it for them, and the other guy that's now starting to buy, it's literally halved.
Right.
So keep that in mind, because I'm thinking maybe it's the same warning, kind of how, remember we went from 11% stake, then we went to 50, then 75, and then 98%, right? It was like a 3-2-1, right? That might be a scenario like that. Like it's doing, okay, first batch got out, maybe another batch.
Well, it did them in those batches for a reason. So
Can I say one thing about the good accounting? So some people are wondering, well, for the smaller guys that don't have a large bag, why would they do good accounting? There is a strategy to it, that the way the market cap sites work is they count circulating supply, but circulating supply actually has to be real hex that's held in wallets. So if you count it, if you hit your stake into good accounting, obviously I'm not telling you to do it. This is just what if a lot of people do it, this could affect the circulating supply. So if a lot of people are doing good accounting, remember that hex is in limbo. You have access to it if you have access to your keys in your wallet, and you could bring it out of the limbo, right? But while it's in limbo, it's not counted towards circulating supply anymore. So then from there, what that could happen is that you have a lower market cap. So it means it's possible to get a higher price per token.
Exactly. Easy pump.
It's easier to pump, basically. Yes.
Yeah.
And then people just say, oh, you know what, I'll take this out. But at the same time, too, there's just like everything, there's a bonus, there's also a negative, is that you're also missing out on staking it. Some people don't care, and that's okay. That's everyone's decision. But that means it becomes harder and harder to get the shares for that person later on once they change their mind, or maybe the price hits a certain point, they sell half the bag, and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna stake this now. But now the share price has risen on them, but it's okay. They're supporting the price by staking. So either way, no matter, it's just tools in the Hex ecosystem, which most cryptos don't have this, which is crazy. This is why there's so much game theory on this.
It's so beautiful, the math behind it, because the system is always in balance. That's what's genius about it. I almost dare to say there is no inflation. It always balances itself out. And there's also a psychological impact. We both all know there's some people that they can't trust themselves. When something is good accounted or stake, you're actually fighting from yourself. Like when people say, oh, but Kareem, I'm not going to sell. I can just take them out and just look at it. And, I'll wait for the price to go up. So it's like good accounting, but I have it liquid. No, you say that. And then when some crazy stuff happens or FUD, you're going to panic dump. And then the price is going to leave you behind. No offense. Like, who knows? Maybe Naga, bro, it was cool, dude. We don't even know what happened to the guy. Like, so many people got washed out like that. It's a protection mechanism against yourself, against phishing. It's like when I said the other day about like, hey, if you got a big stake in a wallet that's 15 years, why the hell would you leave any fucking ETH in that shit? Take it out. Like, the thing is not moving. Those are 15-year stake. Like, have extra layer of security, safety, peace of mind. Like, we can be on stream joking about when the price goes down because we don't care, because this stuff is stake 15 years. Like, we don't even argue about big payday bonus, because the EES, the emergency end stake bonus, is going to cover more than that. Because fortunately, people are not going to listen. There's going to be people doing crazy stuff. And by the way, not just all negative or anything, but when the price start to pump crazy, we all know people pretend they have strong hands and the price gets high enough and they fucking everything at stake. And we get 170 million, like that other dude a couple of weeks back at 0.3 did that. Like, that day was so insane. If that day was an ROI day, it's like I got 300% on my money that day as an API number. Like, it's just, because all the calculation that we're doing when we're talking about, 80x, 250x over 10, 15 years, we're talking about like basic standard, not counting emergency end stake or any kinds of, like, that's how insane it is.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's the compounding, function.
And we're
then,
so early. Why would you want to gamble that? Bull market is barely starting. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
yeah. So
now go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Oh.
DC.
Oh, I'm just trying to answer Momentum's Patterns original question in the DLive chat. I think he said, where is it? So the good accounting is way disproportionately benefits those with 100 T shares than those with 10. No, you both get the same amount of benefits, but obviously if you have a larger economic mass, you can affect the system a little better. That's just all it is. It's the same thing. It's like you can use, these are all tools, right? Just because if let's say you're the guy with the 10 shares that are coming out.
And look at it this way. Again, I like to call the contract like an AI, right? The AI is just calling you out. It says, hey, you said you're going to stake until that day. Because remember, one of the powerful thing about HEX is that chart that shows expiring state. This is something everybody kind of banks on so we can lower some level of volatility and avoid flash crash, okay? You said you're going to do 10 days. You said you're going to do 1 year. And when time is up, time is up. Now, the system is trying to be nice by saying, okay, maybe you made a mistake. So instead of letting you bleed out, which is, by the way, the rule, I'm going to allow you to good account yourself. It's not a trick to say, oh, we want to good account it so that we can get more. No. We already made the smart move the moment we say, hey, I'm going 5-5-5. Because when I made that decision, I already knew some people are going to go 3 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
I said, nah, I'm going 5-5-5. I'm taking the risk because, again, asymmetrical risk. We're in a fucking launch phase. What? This is the lowest T-share. You need to take that baby to the grave. Like, I'm only 30 years old, but like, listen, my kids and my grandkids, they can have it. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Uncle Kareem just like, yo,
Kareem's
building wealth over here.
Guys,
Like,
Kareem strategy. Like,
yeah, right, yeah.
So let me jump in on that one. So so Kareem has a strategy, and he makes sense because a lot of us early developers, early entries, we understand what the power of that 5,555 because the models alone show that just the compounding of your hex in for that long is about a 250x.
Yeah.
And there's models that have shown way more than that.
Without price appreciation, guys. Without price appreciation.
Without price appreciation. This is just your hex growing in the system. So, anything that you've put out at 250x or 200 out of 15 years is a 250. Now, let's also take a step back for everybody. Kareem is very on fire about that 5,555. And a lot of people are. And a lot of people have put what they can out there, So now, for me, I'm 53. I ain't fucking 30 years old no more. So, and Kareem has said that he's going to help me get 2 15-year stakes out. So I'm going to hold him to that. But some people have to realize their gains in 5, 10, 15 years, and so everybody has their spot. So I don't want anybody to think that, hey, I got to go 15 know what?
Yeah, please. Yeah,
he's being right about the value of it. And he's right to be excited about it, especially in his situation. Kareem's a self-made man. He's done well. Man drives around in a damn Tesla. And, and he's smart with his money. So he sees this opportunity and goes, hey, I'm going to put some scratch away out there deep because the long game is where HEX is at. And he's absolutely right because the long game is what HEX is at. Now, that's not saying that the long game between here and 5,555 might not make you some even sicker gains. I mean, not more than that, of course, because the longer is better. But at 10 years, you're talking 80x. 80x. That's enough to, get somebody out of their chair and start dancing about. 5-year stake is anything past the average, which is when we were staked at without the OA stakes, we were at about 12%, 11%, something like that.
Yeah, it was about like 50 billion hex, more or less. And more
so right there, we're sitting at about four at a 4 percent. What am I trying to say now? We were sitting at a percentage of return that was just already phenomenal. So
Insane, yeah,
26%, 28%, something like that. We were running. So
and also more importantly, what I want everybody to please understand too, a quick word of wisdom, right? No financial advice, but just word of wisdom. And he piggyback to some of the stuff Maddie talked about earlier. Like again, true accumulation never ends. Let me say it again. True accumulation never ends. What that means is that when you find something as powerful as HEX, store of value, potentially better than Bitcoin, and I truly believe that.
No. No. Damn it. Because I love Kareem's explanation of the thing. When you find something that's good and you understand it, fucking accumulate it and hodl, because the hodlers make the money. This isn't anything. Apple stock.
There he is. You're back.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah. So what I'm saying is very important is that, like I told my family members, like, hey, listen, we're not quitting our job, guys. I probably gonna keep buying literally every paycheck. Like again, that's just me. I'm not done buying. I just really wanted to secure the Genesis share. RG, I don't know if I made that clear, but I want everybody to understand. The reason why part of the strategy is because it's like, oh, wow, launch phase. Those shares will never exist ever again because of big payday. Let me secure that. But I've been telling multiple times in the chat, if people remember, or in the Telegram, hey, HEX is like the 401k of the future, right? It's like you get a natural dollar cost strategy, no stress. I don't really care what the price is. There's no more AA. I just market buy. I don't even care because I buy to stake. I may get a bad deal today, but like 2-3 years from now, it's a great deal. So I just continue to do the ladder, continue to add and build, control my funds, build my wealth, and how this other stuff. Like I told my sister, same thing too, because this is where that true retirement comes in. People should not just look at it like, oh, I'm just gonna sit on this one bag and then quit my job. And they go, no, that's the most dangerous thing you can do. Like this should just be like almost boring. It just sits there, it accumulates. And I love what Maddie said earlier on the stream, like he's doing too, like, and it gives you that vitality. Like, you know, you're going to work, you have something to look forward to. Like you stash, you feel wealthy when the price goes up. Like, you know what I mean? You're not stressed. You're hanging out in the community. Like, I really want people to have that mindset. Okay. And the idea about being 555 club, dude, even if it's one hex or one heart, who cares? Like,
yeah,
just have that mindset.
Well, we did math on people's shares that were, you know, very small. You know, I mean, you take you know, a few thousand hex and you put it out at 15 years.
Exactly. 100
and you're still looking at millions of millions of hex at that point. You know, so it behooves of everybody to stick a little something out there. It's not that hard, you know.
Whatever you thought that you were gonna be wasting on something stupid that, you know, like for example, I give myself an example. I used to go out a lot, you know, now it's COVID, we go out less, right? So money that I already knew I would have wasted on, you know, going out stuff. That's just an example, right? You just sacrifice that for boom. Or like, oh, I used to go and eat, or this membership stuff that's useless now. This pair of shoes that are just sitting in my garage or whatever. Like things that you don't really need, that's just sitting there burning. You can turn that into a potential 555. Just put it out there, forget about it. Little things like that. And another thing for perspective, I want everybody to understand, and I made this joke, but it's so true. Like, most people underestimate how long they're going to live. Like, I'm no joke. I think RG is going to do 555 stakes. Like, I just told him, I just do it like this. It's only 30 years. It's not that much, man. Like,
I hope I make it 30 years. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping.
You're going to be 83.
I'm only going to be 83, man.
83 young, man. That's nothing. I'm in the solar business, right? I'm in the solar business. My oldest customer is like 99 years old. Like it's just people underestimate that. Like if you work at a regular company and they have some type of 401k or whatever, you can't touch that money until you're 65. And by the way, I'm 30, right? But the average person in the workforce is like 22, 21. And I'm being nice. Like he can do 355. So it's like you just got to kind of get outside yourself a little bit and realize that 15 years is a lot of time. It's a long time, but it's not that long. When you talk about building wealth and savings and saving for rainy day and stuff like that, like the little piggy bank mentality, right? You throw that when you were young, a coin here, right? And then you look at it 10 years later, it's just, you know.
Hey, thanks Navlink for the Ninja Guinea. Appreciate you. Appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. Nice. RG.
How old are you right now? How old are you right now?
I'm 53.
You're 53. Bro, do you know how much technology is going to advance in 30 motherfuckers?
Dude,
You are going to plus, bro. Guarantee.
After the first 555 stake, dude, you're like only like what 68, and then you're probably gonna be like, I'm just guessing. I'm multimillionaire out there. Like, what are we talking about? It's like what?
50 years ago, people were dying off in their 60s and 70s.
We'll be in the golden yacht by then. What are you talking about?
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about having enough. To be honest, I'm not concerned. I know the first 10 years of Hex is probably going to take me where I need to go, and it's going to be just fine. I mean, either way, RG3 is retiring when he's supposed to retire. Period. End of story. I got another 15 years of work life left in me, maybe, depending upon what happens.
And it's working for fun anyway. Technically,
exactly.
Like I tell people, what is retirement? Retirement is just like, you're not just desperate to pay bills. You're doing work for fun. Because my parents used to tell me, son, sometimes to retire is to die. When you lose purpose, what to do, trust me. I know people that got mad money. They retire or they lost their purpose. Now they're doing, they got into drugs, crazy stuff. Like a lot of the times, you will get in trouble when you have too much free time. Let me say it again.
Idle hands, right, baby? Idle hands.
My grandpa used to tell me this shit. Like, like when you're young, like, oh, Kareem, let's go do this. You know what I mean? Like, the kids in the neighborhood. And the next thing you know, you get in trouble. And then you're like, man, have I not had that free time? Had I been busy grinding, personal development, whatever? Like, I wouldn't have that mind shift stolen from me, right? Kind of like how Richard said, like, we need to get the people before they get scammed. Like, we need to give them something good to invest in themselves before, the scammers comes in and trying to snatch that away. So it's nice.
Cosmonaut Hex, thanks for the diamond. He said he's going 150 years old. Let me see. Unhexable says RG3 has 5,500. Yeah, dude, I got Cuatro Cincos. I made some big Cuatro Cincos, and I made a wall of Cuatro Cincos that I can pull out and break glass in case of emergency. So in 7.5 years, we get a big pump. I'm not going to lose my whole Cuatro Cinco stake. I've got a bunch of them out there that I can go, well, you know what? Hex price shot up to $10 this year. What an amazing thing. I'm past my 50. You know what? This is a big stack. I'm going to take this out now in emergency and stake it. I'm going to realize, 10, 12, 15, $20 million, whatever it is.
And RG, I'll be there to clap and say, thank you for the EES money.
Exactly. And I'm going to go spend that money and buy my pirate ship. And you guys are everybody's going to be happy. It's going to be a win-win for everybody. And the old man.
People think people are going to stop doing 555. That's a joke, dude. A year from now, there's going to be new people doing 555 stakes. Like 5 years from now.
They're going to keep going. They're going to keep going.
Here's the pro gamer move right here, right? You don't buy the pirate ship. You make friends with somebody that owns a pirate ship. This is the 4D chess we play over here.
Heck yeah.
So let's see. Cortapana, the importance of Genesis shares and keeping them. If you end stake, you will be buying T shares back at a more expensive rate. So to explain Genesis shares to people, Genesis shares are those shares that were purchased before Big Payday. We knew that after Big Payday, we were going to see a significant jump. A macro event was going to happen with the shares. And it has. We've gone from where we ended at 11, we're now at 16. So it took a year for us to get to 11.
Yep.
In February, January, December, when we were buying, they were,
10,000 and change. Yeah, it took us a year to do about 10% increase, and then in one day,
it went boom, 50% of that. And it's going to continue to do that. It's going to continue to go exponentially. So that's what's happened. So staking is getting more expensive. Now that doesn't mean that it's more expensive for you, because when you get in, that's when you're going to start realizing your share gains by staking the distance. Your shares are your shares. Everybody's paying the same price that day, no matter what.
Yep.
And then they're going to say, the people are going to pay the same price a year from now, no matter what. I don't care how much, financial energy they put into it. Every person's going to pay the same amount for those shares, whether you're an unstaker that is trying to restake, or you're, somebody new coming into the game, or you have a big bag or a little bag. They're all the same amount. But those Genesis shares were important because they were the lowest amount possible that you could pay. And then putting those at a 5,555 length really boosted the value of those shares and put them in
Becomes a game of strong arms.
you have to, yeah, they're very important. They're very valuable. They're very valuable. Those share bags are very valuable. And so anyway, so all of this to say share price and shares today are very, very important. But here's the thing, the macro event that we were expecting to happen, we were expecting to see double this, but it didn't, which is a good thing for the new staking class. The new staking class didn't get as much as a rise as we thought, but it is moving, and it's moving.
And that's what we really want to raise awareness, guys. If you don't feel left out, you still have a golden opportunity right now.
Oh, yeah.
Simple reason, right? Number one, only about half of those massive stake got unstaked or good accounted. So we projected over 20,000 per T-share, but we only about 16,000. So which means we still got that room to grow. And better yet, funny joke, just two weeks ago, we're over a penny. Now it's half price, which means let's say you made a mistake and then you miss out on the Genesis share, but then back then you would have bought it at a penny. Now it's like half that, which means you still have a way to potentially in economic value get something close to a Genesis share, because something that you would have bought at a penny, now you buy half a penny, you miss that 30-40%, but you still have that window. But again, no financial advice or no FOMO, but the dip in HEX, they don't last long. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So they don't last long. And when they go up, it goes up
it's going to be
fast.
double whammy, because it's going to go up, HEX going to become more expensive, and the share rate never goes back. Okay? This whole buying the dip in the share rate, that doesn't exist. There's no buying the dip. It goes one way up.
Yeah, they always solely saying. So hey, so welcome, Gary.
Steph is talking right now. You see that? Yeah. Slow and
Hey,
yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, damn it. Yeah. Well, anyway, the always slowly on staking. So he's giving people
time
to get those shares before they really ramp up.
And that should be a hint and a half for your ass, because there's always subliminal messages within HEX.
Right.
HEX doesn't throw anything like this. Big payday wasn't a blindside. This dip wasn't a blindside. We all knew about it. All the Hexicans who were reading between the lines understood what was happening. I don't think we were all happy about what was happening, because big payday was making everybody look at it in a different light. But when it all came out and we all looked at it in the right frame of mind, we went, it's the best thing for all of us.
And by the way, let's not forget, this was a defensive mechanism.
Oh, hold on one second, Kareem. Go ahead, Gary. I wanted you to add.
What you just said is, and it seems like it's true, that there's subliminal hints. I don't think that they're as subliminal as everyone seems to say. Like Silver went through and said, hey, here's 100 tweets. Here's what he was subliminally saying all along. He's not really being subliminal. I mean, actually, when he came on the stream the other day,
you gotta pay attention.
I'm telling you, this is rewarding longer-term people. This is not, even when we use this phrase like, oh, this people get wrecked and the short-term people get wrecked, that's not true either. Because even the people that staked for one day had an incredible ROI on their HEX in one day. And
gains that you don't see anywhere else.
Yeah, you don't see it like that. And they introduced that potential for sell pressure. Now, what actually happened? If you look at the Staker app, if you look at the history over the past 24 hours, yes, people got in for one day and they intended to just trade that shit, sell that shit down. But what happened? They're staked in. They're held for a 24-hour window until they could potentially exit, right? What happens during that 24-hour window? Oh, there's a 24-hour long stream of person after person after person showing examples of what happened over the past year, as they've been obviously advocating on the behalf of HEX and their own self-interest. They're talking about their self-interest and why they're doing HEX, why they're doing what they're doing with their businesses, with their personal investment, with their 401k. They're talking about their experience. Who sees that? Well, around 2,400 people saw it on Hexologist show, and a lot of people have been seeing it in every night and other people's episodes, and things are being released. What's the counter to that? Well, there's FUD out there from people that have no idea what HEX is, but still they see that it's clickbait opportunity, and they'll put out 6 or 7 videos in one day about an event that lasted about 4 hours. The 4 hours was this big dip that came down, spiked down to 0.2 whatever, and then came back up to 4-ish or wherever it's at now. And along the last thing I'll say in this moment is the trader mentality looks at, what can I do? How can I game the system? Maybe I can just, if I just kick the pinball machine, I'll get an extra play, right? I'll get an extra ball on that game. It's not the gamification. It's telling you before the launch. It's telling you during the launch. It's telling you during Richard's stream that longer pays better, okay? So the things that I'm doing, yes, of course, the share rate's changing. Yes, of course, here's a longer window that the OA is unstaking and giving you an opportunity. Yes, these are all good things. Capitalize on them. Take advantage of it. It's being told to you, not even subtly. It's being told to you that that's what HEX is all about. However, I spent all day yesterday and today building out the tutorials, building out the plans on rental income that rolls over. The rental income margin that rolls over into HEX stakes for whether it's a year, 2 years, 5 years. And my plan is to deploy that to people that are doing rental arbitrage. I know Sean Rockagich, who is Airbnb automated. If you go on YouTube, he has a very popular channel. He has around, he makes around $5 million a year from rental arbitrage, simply from Airbnb. He does not own the properties. He leases from apartment buildings and he rents them out on Airbnb platform and VRBO, but mostly Airbnb. There's all kinds of people that have existing business models. And over the past year of COVID and so forth, they have been pivoting. How am I going to basically maximize and return my ROI to what it was before? They're looking at these opportunities. HEX is a massive opportunity for margin businesses to say, here's what pays the bills. Here's what I need for my lifestyle as it is. And here's what I want to put away toward the future. Put it away for a year, you have 20% more HEX. Put it away for 10 years, you have 200% more than what you started with, right? The speculation on the price point per token and, you know, the share rate and all these other types of things, like I talk with other people that kind of get into the engineering side of things, that's all great for people that have to be an engineer to understand an airplane will fly. I just want to present a message to people that getting on the airplane, it's safe because it's code, it's safe because it's math, and it's safe in a lot of ways because it's not dependent on the efforts of other people to give you ROI. You have the potential for ROI in HEX, but I'm trying to teach that your regular margin business, your regular $100 a month or whatever stake, your regular thing can give you phenomenal return. It can.
Exactly. Amen, Gary. Thank you so much. And again, guys, that's why we come on those streams, like, you know, because we're trying to share the content. We're trying to break it down, to explain to people, to understand, because, you know, right, there's certain things that Richard can and cannot say, and us, the community, trying to grow. This is why, you know, I love what RG started here, dollar cost, and like we're trying to add that value, and we're showing our faces here. You know, we're not bots, that we're doing this and it works. But ultimately, right, personal accountability. We can't press that buy or sell button for you. Like earlier, even today, people were complaining about like hitting the emergency unstake button without even reading this stuff. Like that blows my mind. I'm like, no, like ultimately you are in control. You get to make the decision. We're trying to help as much as we can. We're trying to educate so we can feel like, hey, we've done our parts. The rest is on you to then pull the trigger, whether you want to do it or not. You want to do it, great. You don't want to do it, other people's will. The opportunity is always going to be there.
Yeah, other people will. That's the message. You know, not to stoke that FOMO fear, but other people will. Other people are. Other people have. I heard it last night. I saw a little bit of Discourse thing last night. I was working on this task at hand, but I saw the Discourse thing, and people were saying that. They were like, you know, why hasn't it gone to zero? Everybody says it's going to go to zero after BPD. Well, we're still here, and it's not just, you know, 5 people, 10 people, 100 people. It's thousands and thousands of people that are, you know, one, they might have staked in order to get that BPD. But if you look at the number of people on the app, even if you look at it now, it's the people that staked, the percentages that are unstaked and had that did unstake today, they didn't sell. They just unstaked, right? And they staked because the code said that it was unstaking, right? So now they're in this pivot point, or this you know, contemplation, you know, assessment. You know, I have a 50x on my money. Should I get out now? What does this share rate mean? Even though I made money, right? So people are looking at that to a degree. They understand that they could sell down the market and they could make a massive dip on sell out. But I don't really think that, like Richard talks about, you can short a $20,000 Bitcoin with $20,000, and you can short it all the way down to nothing, right? And you make 20 grand.
That's it.
That's what you make. That's because you are shorting it. Or you can participate in a system that has code, influence, adoption curve that's very visible in a 1 year period, less than a 1 year period, very visible, and have the potential for hockey stick. That's what this really has, is the potential for hockey stick.
Perfect product market fit, period. Yep. And we are starting a bull market as a whole. If you go a little bit more macro, they're printing the money and all sorts of stuff. Like Bitcoin is close to where, Ethereum is at 545 at some point today. It was insane. Guys, if we just go back to the similar ratio, quick math real quick. If we go back to the similar ratio that we were hex per ETH just 2 weeks ago, and Ethereum is at 545, that's a 2.5 cent hex. Let me say that again. If we go back to the ratio of the 2 weeks ago, not when Ethereum was like 430 or 455, whatever, but what it is now, which we can definitely, because low liquidity, that's a 2.5 cents hex. And all of a sudden it's like you're gonna get those videos again. Oh my god, what I saw my hex. Like, dude, like how many more times do you need to see this? Like,
let me jump in the chat real quick. Gary rocks. Smash that extra biz cash. Let's see. I want to here. Dr. Barrow. Dr. Barrow, is 50,000 hex for a 5,555 stake enough? I wanted to put that in perspective just because he asked that question. A 50,000 hex, according to the models, is about 12,500,000 hex, according to estimates and models as far as the rate of hex returns on your shares. If you'll probably end up somewhere around 12 million hex, 12 million and a half hex or more, or a little less, but that's what you're looking at. Now, the price of hex, we don't know what it's going to do. We always say it could go up, it could go down. We don't know. My guess is that hex is probably going to be worth more than it is now, based upon what we're seeing, what we've saw, the launch, the smoothness of a launch, the absolute unshakability of hex as a product, as a crypto. Not a single flaw in the code. Not a single flaw has been exposed in the code. It's been audited and it works. It functions well. And it's a very, very basic function. It's a crypto that does everything that Bitcoin does, but better. So let's put that in perspective. Everything a crypto does, everything that Bitcoin does, but better. More security, faster movement. It just does it better.
Pays interest too. Bitcoin doesn't do that.
Well, and then it has the whole staking feature, which is a very simple. You can stake and you can unstake. And that's it. That's the only feature that Hex really has, is you can stake it and you can unstake it. And there's good accounting or whatever, but other than that, you just put it in and it gains interest on itself in the code. There is no funny business. There is no, anything going on. You are making interest off of what you put in.
No counterparty risk too.
So that's what you're looking at. 12 million or so on a 50,000 hex stake. So even less than that would be wild. Let's see. Right, Gary, you don't have to depend on others to get yield. You got that right. Hex is my passive income machine. And yes, you can turn it into a passive income machine by creating what we call staking ladders and then just restaking your principal back over the years, just rolling it over, staking out for a year and then, the next year, just rolling your principal back over. You can do something like that.
That's what I've been doing, and I've been getting more shares too. Woo!
Amen.
Woo!
Let's see.
Can you comment about that? So
sure, go right ahead. I'm gonna look through see if I can find.
When you have a stake that is timed out, the time is up. It's you can hit the button, right? Does it? I think I've only had one stake that actually organically came out, so I don't remember.
Yeah, I just had one. I was like, oh, look, cool.
When that button became live, right?
Happened already.
So it doesn't give you the option to restake. You have lost share rate. It is the new share rate that you're getting into. Yep. So if you restake, you are restaking maybe the same principal in token, but you don't have the same payout in rate. Correct?
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely, Gary.
Just let me put it this way to everybody. Sure. My 19-year-old son goes to college. I don't give him money He's saved every dime that he's ever gotten since he was a kid. He's very frugal. Does not spend. He's as tight as it gets. He saw his dad working on this HEX thing, and he said, "Hey, Dad, all the kids are talking about stocks and whatnot. I wanted to ask you about this. What is that app that everybody's using now? The stock app?
Yeah,
Robinhood.
Robinhood.
Yeah, Robinhood. So all of his buddies are doing Robinhood, right? And my son, he goes to college, and then he's a pizza flipper. He flips pizzas that's what he does. And I said, well, let me teach you about crypto a little bit and show you the differences between that stock market crap and the margin trading that those kids are doing, and then crypto. So I told him about it, and he said, so how do I get some? So I said, well, how much do you want to risk? Now I said, remember, this is completely, you can put it in there today and it could be gone tomorrow. Or you can put it in now and you'll watch it grow. And be so happy, and it's gone a year from now, it's gone. So you got to realize that's what this game is here. But you're going to do that in the stock market too. So same type of risk reward. Crypto's a little more volatile. Not as volatile as the margin trading shit, which I told him he can't do.
Yep.
But I told him the dangers and why and what that really is. That's gambling on crack, and
it's fucking rigged. That's what people don't understand.
It's rigged.
Everything. They rig you. You be right. They'll wick you out, and then they'll go into the money. Like,
oh yeah, that's what. Especially with this app like this, and anyway. So he said, this is how much you want to put in, Dad. So he went into his bank account and he Coinbased and he did the whole thing and got his ETH and my son had staked his HEX just the other day. The kid made 25 grand.
There you go.
He's 19 years old, and now he's learned about crypto. And now he's like, hey, Dad, I want to restake this. I want to make some, so now he's learning. And, at first he put some out, but he was thinking like, I ain't putting all my money, 10 years. Are you kidding me? I'm 19 years old. That's half my life. Are you kidding me? And I told him, I said,
oh my God, if I'd only done things like this.
So he did. Now he's learning. Now he's working his HEX stack, and really cool. So a 19-year-old kid did it, and the kid made enough to buy a nice brand new car if he wanted to.
Nice.
So anyway, so that's the power of
RG, that's the best way. The best way to learn is by doing. That's what I've been telling people all the time. Like, it's just because even if it's a little bit, not like the first time you learn how to swim, right? You got to go into the water.
Well, that's the other thing, Kareem. One of the things we as Hexicans have been doing to help. Well, it was really for the AA, but what we were doing was we were giving people ETH to go and put into the AA to mint their own coins and do it so that they could feel the whole system,
Yeah, the freemium. I did that with my sister too. I was like, oh, hey, by the way, I already got you a stake, like literally. And it's like, oh wow, now it's like,
Oh, Quarter Panda just dropped us a Ninja Guinea. The game now is onboarding users and working out network effect. Pump everyone's bags together. I mean, it's going to naturally happen. And then us as a community, we need to be responsible for how we're teaching everybody how to use HEX and how to be ambassadors of HEX. And actually in crypto, I mean, we are going to be the ambassadors of crypto. And I've been talking about this the last few shows, is that we've already proven all the others to be fools. The best of the best out there are acting like fools. They are not. Obviously not thinking in the best interest of the crypto community in general. They are thinking for themselves. They're thinking for their sponsors. They're thinking they're not thinking with the right side of their brain. That's for sure.
No moral.
And they're not thinking about the future of crypto. They're all in a situation. And I think I figured out what the problem is. The pump is in. The pump is in and they can't turn back. They've already made a deal with the devil, and the pump is in, and they have to stay behind that, because if they were to turn on it now, they look like idiots because the pump's in. So everything that they've been doing and saying is actually, it's validating that. It's right now they're being validated, and are yelling and screaming from the fucking rooftops and everything. Now they can go, oh, you silly peasants, you're still sitting there screaming about this. Ha ha, go away, you crazy, insane Hexicans. Stop doing what you're doing. They got all that now because they're pumping. So now they're validated. So it's gonna continue. they're going to continue to be bad stewards of crypto because of this pump. Now, the thing I wanted to get off shares, especially since Gary came on. I wanted to talk about what happened with Grayscale today. Did you guys see that? Did anybody read what happened to Grayscale today?
What happened to Grayscale?
They bought a shit ton of Bitcoin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They've been doing this every month. They increased the volume,
but they increased it exponentially.
They got like 3% already of all Bitcoins.
They put in a ton now,
and they're buying a lot of ETH.
Like,
they're buying a lot,
and they're buying ETH. They're pumping it, and they are basically just the CME. So it's 2017 again.
Trillion of garbage fiat out there. It has to go somewhere. They have to push it somewhere. So, and the old oligarch that don't understand crypto, they're gonna be like, yo, we'll just give the trillions to Grayscale, and then they buy the bag, we'll pay them the premium, they hold the keys, they do all that nonsense. We'll just sit here and collect and then make a phone call and say, hey, what's my Bitcoin worth today? You know what I mean? That's what they're doing. It's just proxy. I mean, Federal Reserve's been doing this shit for a while. That's the same thing they do with the T-bills. So it's just buy by proxy. And that's what I urge everybody to understand. Market cycles, macroeconomics, like crypto is just getting started. And that's what I love when Gary talks a little bit also about, understanding tax implications, stuff like that. Obviously, do your research, talk to your CPA, whatever. But like, if you understand that we're about to leave a 3-year bear market on the overall thing, like it's kind of smart to kind of also plan, that this is the beginning of the wave. So know the exit, but understand that, when the bull market starts, it can run a few years, easy.
Huh. Maddie said Tether printed a shitload today too, I think.
There you go.
Getting it ready, getting it ready, getting it ready for the freaking money to start rolling. The crypto machine go brr. Here it comes.
Even though everybody likes, a lot of people have heard of Tether for years. Still, I think people should do their own due diligence about the ease of use of Tether. Yep. Tether is primarily centralized exchanges, mostly. And you might look at something called TrueUSD, which is it's called the trust token, but basically TrueUSD is the stable coin that's based on dollar, but it is 1-to-1. And the reason why it's 1-to-1, unlike Tether has been proven not to be 1-to-1. It is fractionalized.
Like 70%. And then they lied.
And they say that their assets, like digital other assets are the backing for it. So whatever, take that as you wish, but Tether is maybe on more exchanges as pairs. However, TrueUSD is actual dollars across thousands of escrow companies across the United States. So if you've bought a house, if you bought a high ticket item like a car that's a high ticket kind of car, like a $1 million Ferrari or something, if you've bought anything like a business, right, from another person, you bought a business from a seller, then you've used escrow. The same exact escrow companies are the ones that the Tether, that the TrueUSD token is simply the fulcrum for. You have dollars, you want a token, you trade around in crypto, you want back out to dollars. The network of escrow companies across the United States, and it's founded by Stanford. So Stanford has, I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars as far as.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, they're Stanford. And the founders are Stanford people, but also Stanford Foundation is part of it.
Yeah.
And what's really great about it is when you send money from your Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank, or whatever account, your credit union, and you send it to Coinbase, you have now a record where you are going from Coinbase to your bank account. And, as easy as cash and capital is to get and credit and things like that is to get, at any time, a bank can make a decision that it's not in their best interest to support this trade. So you can have your account shut off. It happened in 2017. A lot of people, whether they were using credit and leverage or whether they simply were sending cash that they had in their bank, ACH, wire it into a central authority, a centralized crypto. When it was gray zone even more, they were getting their credit cards turned off even though their bank account stayed live. Why did their credit limit drop? Well, it dropped because it was Bank of America. Yeah, you've got money in your checking account you're sending, but we don't like you having $50,000 worth of credit excess as well. So we're going to reduce that limit. So if you use something like TrueUSD, this isn't the case. you're sending to the escrow companies, and the escrow companies are sending that are part of the minting of a TUSD token. They're part of that by contract. They control billions and billions and billions of dollars, and they have those through contract and law and regulation. They have those assets at risk not to follow through with your token value exchange. So it's a completely different system, and your bank sees that you're sending to an escrow company. It doesn't see Coinbase. It doesn't see centralized exchange. It sees an escrow company. I mean, a network of escrow companies. So just like you're going to put earnest money, good faith money on buying a house or some kind of high ticket item, you would put it in escrow. If you buy something off of eBay and it's a high enough ticket item, there's escrow services, and it's the exact same escrow services that TUSD uses. So you might protect your access to capital, your access to your checking account by looking at TrueUSD instead of Tether. And guess what? It's an ERC20. It directly goes into HEX. Everything that I do has been TUSD for the past year and a half with regard to HEX. I can't remember the last time I was on a centralized exchange for all those reasons of 2017.
Yeah.
Amen.
Let me bring something up here, a little funny thing that we could talk about a little bit. So there's another guy out there. His name is Litecoin Moses, and
oh yeah.
so Litecoin Moses. Let me see if I can pull this up here.
Yes.
This is kind of cool.
Oh boy.
I am the original Litecoin Moses, just so you know.
You are the original Litecoin Moses. Now, this was sent to me by one of our Hexkins. It was Hexagon 720. Let's see if I can get this. Shoot, man, he sent me pictures, so that's all right. I'll pull it up anyway. Here we go. Without exposing my nudes, Richard. Let's see.
Always got to be careful.
Always got to be careful.
Even when you wear the glasses, you're like, hey, is the reflection showing my nudes?
So this is the first the first tweet is beautiful. I don't see a date. So everybody knows who Alex Sanders is, right? The guy Hexo was talking about today. So this guy fudded us. Whatever. I don't care anymore. They look like damn fools, but whatever. Hexo really made him look like an idiot.
Yep.
Is he the cucumber boy or the pickle boy or whatever?
Yeah,
he's the pickle boy. So Litecoin Moses, not our Litecoin Moses, but the other Litecoin Moses. Here, let me pull this up. He decided to chime in on Pickle Boy's little Twitter, and he says the motherfuckers tried to get me in Hex to get dumped on.
Wow.
I'm too seasoned.
He left. I'm not trying to talk too much shit about this guy, but he left crypto for like a full year and then he just recently barely came back and stuff.
He's too seasoned. He's too seasoned to fall for that foolishness. Dude, wrecked.
Yeah.
Wrecked. Now let's look at the next one. If you motherfuckers don't get off my nuts about Hex, you're making money. Go make your money. Leave me the fuck alone about it. God damn it. Okay. So I guess Hexagon was talking to him. Damn, I actually thought you had decent critical thinking skills.
What?
Now it continues.
Oh, here we go.
Let's see. Here's the next one here. I've read through your content. I'm surprised you haven't put the time into Hex, or dude, you quoted that responsible for shilling rug pulls in the space media coin. You've played yourself. Okay. So I guess he's saying that he called them out. A lot of YouTubers were shilling dead coins in 2018. I knew about that already. I didn't buy medical coin. I was getting shilled that. If I was getting shilled that, you know that was coming from some shady ass shit. Okay. So I didn't buy medical coin. I'm not buying Hex. Worry about your pockets, not other man's pockets. Which is true. But hey, in the crypto space, we're all just trying to help.
I do hate that talk though, because like, look, I actually do like. I've tried to be very cordial with this Litecoin Moses and stuff. I tried so hard in the beginning to, hey, dude, let's do an interview. Let's go on stream. This is even before Discourse Syndicate. This is back in the day. Dodge me just because he felt cool because he had a couple thousand extra followers.
Well, obviously he does. He thinks he's too seasoned for.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is gonna age real well.
I know.
Well. Litecoin Moses, you've put yourself in wrecked history, bro.
Well, they're not genuine because Richard leaves his tweets up, even when it's something that was shit talking Ethereum and things like that. He leaves his tweets up because the world still changes, right? Yeah. And he explains his logic and reasoning. But these kind of motherfuckers don't do that. They put this shit up here and then they delete it when it's convenient, when nobody's looking.
Facts. No fucking accountability. And that's what I tweeted about. It's like, dude, the decency, like it's absurd. Like garbage.
So here's the kind of the end of this. So you're about to get blocked for spamming my page. Go buy your Hex and go forth. Now, I just want to put something out here. Hexagon 720 didn't spam his page, didn't go buy Hex, none of that stuff. He was trying to get a conversation going with somebody that he thought had credibility in the space. Right.
Yep.
So for these guys to be switching like they are and triggering like they are with people, there's some truth to all this that they see even themselves. That's what I'm seeing here psychologically with these folks, because they're spouting off shit about people, just like what's her name, little freaking selfie girl did against me, was like, oh, you're crazy. No, I'm trying to explain to you, jump in the middle conversations you had no business in with information you have no fucking thought of. So knock it off. And she said, oh, you're crazy, and blocked me. But anyway, that's the kind of shit they're doing right now. And they're getting scared and they're getting worse. But let me read this part about the Hexagon said. And look at this, is how cordial he's been. This space is filled with people that have zero credibility, such as the dude you defended, this pickle boy guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
They profit off the weak-minded, and you parrot their BS. Do you really think I'm worried about someone blocking me for calling BS and bringing truth? Stop acting like a coward. Now, he did use some hard words there, but they were very true and very to the point and very revealing. And of course, the next step is he probably got the block.
But
okay?
Hey, remember
here's my book. Here's my book I wrote. I'm Bitcoin, and I'm the man. You don't have the reason to even be talking.
Yeah, but RG, remember what Richard used to say. If you're gonna get blocked anyways, go ahead and put that fucking tweet. Put it out there. Leave your truth. Because at the end of the day, right? Because I'm in sales. This is all just a cloud play. Okay, this dude is acting as if he's the shit, but he's not. Listen, I don't have followers like that because I never cared. Like, just the last week, just hanging out with you guys and starting whatever. Like, I got like almost 300 people follow already. Like, it's just like if people really focus and they really have the content, they can get there. It's not that complicated. So he's just acting as if like I'm the shit, making all this noise to say like I'm important. He's trying to get me when Hexagon never done that. And by the way, fun fact, I was on another Twitter thread with him when he was actually talking to Simon fucking Dixon. And then he was asking about question about Hex and what's going on. And I chimed in, but Hexagon started that thread, which was great because Simon is awesome because and I've been following him for a little bit. Bank to the future. He has a lot of investment in the space, and he's smart because he's open-minded.
Simon.
Okay. He's big about Bitcoin, but he's smart enough to understand that there's other things out there. And he's asking a question. He wants to be educated, and he's going to be talking that on his next stream. So Hexagon is doing an amazing job. And by the way, he was polite on those tweets. You kidding me? Like, he could have used other words. Like, it's just those people, they're going to be left behind, man. It's just a matter of time.
You got to look at also the investor mentality. Even Warren Buffett says something about gold. He says, he doesn't like gold because it's not cash flowing. It doesn't produce cash. It doesn't make cash. Stocks make cash because they have dividends, right? Look at this cryptocurrency called HEX that has a cash flow. It has a cash flow. If you are staked, you're the only source for new HEX. You are the geyser. You are the fountain of new HEX from the staking class. And when it comes to the existing hands that have HEX tokens in their wallet of some sort, right? Maybe I think that there's also an example. I can't remember the specific reference, but if you gave thousands of people the equal amount of like redistribution of wealth, you say, oh, the wealthy people, the 1% controls like 50 or 60% of all the assets. That's not just the assets.
Hey, Gary, is that your mic doing that?
I don't think so. I'm not moving. Am I popping?
Not anymore.
now.
There was a tiny noise. Probably you were just scratching something.
Okay.
But you're good. You're good now.
Ended.
Go ahead.
So if you have so it's not just that the 1% controls 50 or 60% of all assets. They control the cash flowing assets. That's what really matters, because that's compounding. And if they want to take cash or capital out, they take it from their cash flow. They buy their lifestyle with their cash flow. Robert Kiyosaki talks about it all the time. He compounds his wealth, but he only buys lifestyle with the cash flow from other assets that he's bought, right, from IP and such. So what I'm saying is, you have the opportunity to, if you took all of those assets and you distributed equally across all people, and they all had the same amount of dollars, exactly. It doesn't take that long, like 5 to 10 years, before it reconcentrates to be 1%ers again.
Boom.
You know, it's because of human psychology. You have a little bit of cash in your hand and you think, what can I buy with it today? I can have some fly clothes. I can get a nice car. And that gets consumed. You consume that. But other people, they say, how can I invest that? How can I get that into something that's cash flowing?
Boom.
So you really need to look at HEX. Yes, is an amazing opportunity. Also, any business or any kind of pivot, anything that you can do over this next couple of years as we go through economic turmoil in the fiat world, you should be looking at, what skill can I add to my repertoire? How can I be a better communicator? Not just for the sake of HEX, but for the sake of yourself, your skill set. Improve your skill set. Also, look at what is it that you have this dormant capital right now. You have things inside of your garage. You have things in the back that you're not going to get to. You have old cars or something, and you say, one day I'm going to get that fixed up. But you come to the epiphany, hey, I'm probably not. You should sell that shit because it's dormant capital, and put it into something. If it's not HEX, put it into something that can cash flow. That's really what makes the difference about someone becoming a 1%er or, you know, the majority of people, which are just living paycheck to paycheck.
Yep. It's all about the decisions you make. You know what I mean? And that's what I told people all the time. Like, again, I came from nothing. So it's like this whole, oh, you got lucky, this and that. No, you got to change. You got to decide, change your mindset, right? Listen and learn from what the successful people do, right? Not even what they say, what they do, right? Because sometimes they don't want to share always the knowledge, unfortunately. But if you can just study them, study what they do, right? Study their successes, study their mistakes, what they learn from it. You know, investing in yourself is the most important thing to start up with.
Ramey Poon, thanks for the Ninja Guinea, Ramey. So Ramey always has some very interesting messages to send to me about Hexo kicking my ass or choking me out or something like that. Tonight he says RG3 is a good guy. Hexo should not attack him. He's just spreading the good word.
Look at Ross Hex. RG gives back to the people, unlike Hexo.
Then they all came to Hexo's.
How many do we have on the stream right now?
We have 196 on DLive. By the way, thank you DLivers for jumping on. Don't forget to follow us. And we're going to teach you about Hex Crypto and what it's all about. And then we have 77 on the YouTube. So just a little impromptu stream, and we're doing well. We're doing well. Still a couple of streams away from hitting our VP, but as soon as that happens, then your guys' chest is going to grow faster. It rolled over, so it let me put some back in there, so that was good. So happy Hexicans.
Yeah, Simon Dixon's a smart motherfucker, dude. From Back to the Future. Damn, dude, that dude is literally the Kraken with his hands in equity in every company in crypto. He owns a piece of everything.
Yep, exchanges, and that's why I was like, what Hexagon did, people have no fucking idea, because it's a piggy bank to. First of all, he had a stream with Richard already, so the seed was planted. He definitely claimed he's free Bitcoin, that's for sure. He's free Hex, sorry, and then now because he's very observant, he sees the buzz, he hears about it. You know, again, there's no such a thing as bad publicity. Even when the hater talk, it's still publicity. We just need to be very conscious about our public image and not get triggered, because it's not about those people. They're not relevant. It's about the no coiner, the new person, because when they see and they hear the nonsense, then they're going to see like, wait a minute, this guy's saying this guy's saying that. And then they can go and fact check, and they can see that we've been consistent. We've been telling the truth. You know, all this bullshit, all this rug pulling and stuff. They're like, oh, wow, those people were actually correct. And by the time that tilts and those people lose their credibility, it's going to be like Hex sucking capital. We're going to be sucking all the viewership, all the tweets, the followings, all that stuff. It's going to be like taking the candy from a baby. So, and that's really the key, and not playing their games, you know, not getting triggered or anything like that.
Damn straight.
Making some mods in YouTube.
Yeah. So yeah, Simon's an early Bitcoiner. I think he was the first person to ever put Bitcoin in a book ever. Like I think it was back in 2010. I think he was the first written thing ever, and he was like one of the few speakers actually at the first Bitcoin event in Montreal. Yep. The guys, when I found out about him, I was like, "Whoa, holy snap!" And like, he's starting to actually generate a lot of buzz now and stuff because he's been consistently doing these AMAs and stuff now. Through his
I'm a subscriber for Simon. What I like the most about Simon, people don't realize, he talks a lot more about macroeconomic, which is actually more important because he used to be ex-banker, see what's going on, called out the bullshit, left the industry, and he's really good at breaking down. Like when we talk about central bank digital currency, like New Bretton Woods agreement they're trying to do, like this shit matters because it's what triggers everything else. So, and be able to have that wealth of knowledge around, and he's very even keel and open-minded. That's amazing, man. Some people, either the money gets to their head or, you know, they get too maxis and it's like, I know better and blah, blah, blah. And the ego gets in the way and just it's crazy.
I like to praise Simon as well. I like to praise him because he's great in a lot of ways. He does advocate more things than just his own bag or just his own company and investment. However, he did have a launch of Bank to the Future ICO in 17.
Oh, yes.
Oh, was that ICO?
And so I remember.
I know because I know he's invested everywhere. I didn't know there was ICO.
And so the principles of, even though you have these OGs, again, I'm not taking away from Simon as far as his advocacy. He did have a stream with Richard. He's talked with other people as far as Hex goes. He's lukewarm supportive. He's not like all in supportive because, again, most of his trade and his revenue comes from Bitcoin. Most of his trade and his revenue comes from Ethereum on centralized exchanges that he's part of. So he was a core founder or founding investor, I guess, in Kraken and other ones that he makes most of his cash flow from centralized, non-crypto kinds of things, even though it's crypto as a product that's being moved from point to point. I like Simon, but he also collects, even with his ICO of Back to the Future, that is basically an aggregator of investors to buy into other potential train wrecks, right? Potential, right? Maybe they'll be great, but they're ICOs on an ICO. So I don't, I'm lukewarm to Simon Dixon, the person.
It was that phase, in 2017 when it was all about investing in the infrastructure, right? Exchanges, who's going to do the on-ramp.
Comply with banks and comply with regulation and comply with government, which again, I'm not an anarchist. I want to be able to spend the money I make from Hex. So I'm not an anarchist. I want government to support contracts and rules of law. I'm not an anarchist. However, I'm not really a Bank to the Future person either, or a Simon Dixon maximalist either. I like Hex because it's code. It's not the work of others. It has a formula that's obvious and visible in Solidity. There's lots of reasons to like Hex more than other products.
Absolutely. I think that's the key. I think the main takeaway for Simon, at least, is just the fact that he's open-minded and is at least somebody that you can talk to. And like Richard will always say, right, potentially able to change his worldview. That's all we kind of need. Like the other people that are just so stubborn, we're just going to leave them behind. And another thing that I think he does well, he's really good at disclosing what he has. So that way he makes it a little bit easier to have that conversation. But yeah, Gary's absolutely correct. We know what we're here for. It's just more about how do we get that onboarding rolling and who can we potentially convert. Again, going back to what Hexagon did, which I think is great because it's about who can we potentially win over that's worth investing to. And then the other nonsense, the cloud chasers, they're like, dude, 3,000 follow, that's nothing. Like people need to understand there's like kids that have more followers. Like followers doesn't mean buying power. Like people forget that. Like you can.
I don't want to take away from pretty girls, but they're pretty girls in Twitter talking about crypto that have 20,000 followers.
Exactly.
But a pretty girl talking about dog shit gets 20,000 followers.
Dude, the videos on YouTube of cats gets more. Like it's crazy. Like
yeah, that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
that has nothing to do with it.
That's why I'm going into yoga pants. I'm telling you guys.
Well, we're gonna make Discourse Syndicate yoga pants. That's for sure.
Living my best life.
We're gonna make men's hats and t-shirts and women's yoga pants.
Okay. Is that a dress code now?
Is that a dress code?
Oh, we just know what sells. We just know what sells. Men's double extra large t-shirts and
like I'm in my normal clothes, chilling in the house, just hanging out with you guys. So
hats and yoga pants. So
yeah, this is your first warning, Motley.
Won't ban you this time. Motley got the warning.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Got the warning into the fire. Into the fire's on one this week, man. He's steaming.
He's pissed, bro. He's pissed.
He's pissed.
I did it, but he deserved it, right? I mean, come on. He gives me enough shit, so I'm gonna fire him. Actually, he doesn't give me as much shit as like Ramy Pones or Mousetrip used to, or any of those guys. But yeah, he deserves it, bro. You deserve it. Yeah. So let's see. What do we got going on in here? Another Ninja Guinea taking candy from a baby is stealing. Cosma Hex. So thanks for the Ninja Guinea, bro. Appreciate that.
I wonder if you have RG and dollar cost. I think I heard hint that the cabin background that you have for Discourse, that's the captain's quarters, it looks like.
The captain's quarters, yes.
The captain's quarters. And then that's great. And then were you saying that, I was thinking about like maybe some rewards for something, you don't have to give like dollar amount. Like you gave out, I don't know, a lot of fucking hex the other day, right? It's just a shitload of hex. And that was a great reward. I think that could potentially make that person, end up family wealthy if they play it right. So that's really, really amazing. You might think about this. I know you're going to distribute, or I thought you were going to distribute backgrounds to people, but you might make that something of a, when Hexo was making these neon kind of backgrounds for their Twitter feed, and he did that for a couple bucks. But, I think that might be something that you think about. If you're some kind of supportive, if you win some kind of contest, if you bring a certain number of people to the DLive chat, or new people, some kind of reward for that good action, it might be this background thing that they can have their own cabin inside of the ship kind of idea. Because I think you were talking about if you had like 10 people talking, each person having a different part of a frigate, a pirate ship. I think that's kind of an interesting idea.
Yeah, I'm actually working on some additional staterooms. I'm not doing it. Kool-Aid is. He's on the 24-hour. He's freaking amazing.
He's amazing. But what I'm saying is, don't distribute that, or figure out some rewards.
So we're going to. I've got some brigs. I've got some staterooms. I've got some good stuff for all of you deserving Hexicans. Some of you are going to get.
I wish you could remotely change their background. That would be amazing. If you could
we're going to be able to. So we're working on all that right now. So DC shows up on the ship late from Liberty out on the freaking shore, coming out of the ship, and he might end up in the brig, the whole stream, with bars in his face.
Might as well leave it in there.
This is going to become a real pirate ship, and you guys are going to pay. And there's going to be some cool stuff. We're going to do I got some really cool stuff going on with Discourse Syndicate, and we're just waiting for a few things to happen, and we're gonna blow this production up. We're just getting the studio redone. I don't know if some of you've seen the pictures of my new desk.
I saw that. You sent it over.
All my new stuff's coming in. Yeah, I was building it the day you called me, Kareem. I just got it in the mail, and so
for everybody, man. Shout out to RG, man. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So I just want everybody to know, he reached out, let him call him, and that was just cool. I had a great conversation. So. And I was like, you know what? Let's hop on this thing, Let's help as many people as we can.
I'm
Yeah.
happy to have you here too, dude. I mean, really, man, you've been awesome. I love the energy. The thing I love the most about you is the energy, dude. God damn.
Yeah, you're infectious. We feed off of it.
You, man. But it's funny. Sometimes a gift, sometimes a curse. Like some people, they just, there's haters out there, but it is what it is. But yeah, like I just, because of my, how to put this, like the thing that I've been through, the things that I've seen in my life that I wouldn't wish on anybody, again, it's not bragging. It's just like, I'm high on life. That's what I tell people. Like, I'm a spiritual being more than anything else. So things that I've learned, things that I've seen, and the simple fact that I'm alive, sometimes I'm amazed at that, and I'm like, okay, make the best of it. Like, what can you do? How can you better yourself, people around you, your community, synergies, like stuff that I learned from all my mentors, right? It's not just about making money. It's how you make your money, with who, and all this other stuff. And I've always wanted a community, right? So this, to me, it's like you can sink your teeth in and just like educate, add value, learn from others. It's just great. Man.
Kareem, let me talk for a second about you, because when I first met you, I seen some of your material on Twitter and in the chat rooms a little bit, and I saw your dance, the song dance video you did in your car and stuff. I was like, man, this guy's got some cool energy, and there's so many Hexicans for me to watch that I didn't really like dig into it, and I got so much going on with the show and everything. So, and with Big Payday coming, and you were just kind of getting like real familiar on the scene. But anyway, when you did the 24-hour stream, I was like, wow, I recognize something in you. And I hear you when you say, some people, my energy is not just infectious, it's overbearing, or maybe I get a lot of haters because of that. And I was getting messages, hey, fuck, man, is this guy like gonna let somebody talk or whatever? And but here's what I understood, that I said I need to hear Kareem's story, because Kareem, you and I are a lot alike, and that's why I wanted to talk to you, because I felt the same passion. Look, I grew up in the streets of LA, in Inglewood. And being a half white, half Indian kid growing up in an all black school where there was 3 kids that were my color, it was a tough upbringing, And I grew up in the gangs and the drugs and the whole thing back in the 70s and in the 80s, and it was a tough life. And I'm 53 now. I'm not 30 like you, but I had a lot of energy for life too. Once I did get was turned loose, and I was able to get out of that environment and into the real world, where I can actually take my energy and go out and do something. And then there's a whole nother twist. Your story's a lot different than mine in some ways, because you came from a war-torn country. And, that's different when you see, when of people who are dying, family members that are dying, and you escape that, and your family escapes that. And then you have parents that raise you from that environment into this environment here, where the environment is, the sky's the limit. There's nobody running around that's going to maybe cut your arm off today, or your brother's arm off, or your mother's head off, or, somebody's going to shoot somebody in the streets, or, that only way for you to make money is to do something illegal. This country is puts people on a whole different plateau who have been in that situation. They take advantage of everything, and the zeal for life and their zest for life is just overwhelming. I mean, it's just, so I understood what you were saying, and I know where you're coming from. So I wanted everybody out there to hear that, because that's where Kareem's coming from, guys. He's coming from a place where he's just fucking excited to be where he's at right now, and it shows. And and he's a work in progress. He wants to continue to grow. He's already successful. I mean, look at the car the man drives, and he's got a great job, and he's already captured the American dream by the balls, and he knows it. So he's happy about it. And that's where his energy comes from. And I love it, man. I love it. And I want to expose it. I want people to see it. It's important, so my hat's off to you, bro. Glad that you're here.
Amen. Again, attitude of gratitude. That's the key. And then, I always ask myself, it's funny, people don't realize it's actually much easier to be negative, right? Be there and feel like there's no hope, but actually waking up and say, you know what? I choose to be happy today. I choose to think positively. I choose to whatever comes my way, how can I overcome? What can I do at my level to get better? And I think having that mentality, you can kind of go over anything that comes your way. And if you have a team or a community that can support you, even better. Even better.
Says Kareem is the new Chuck Norris. Kareem doesn't have an escape key on his computer. Kareem is the reason Waldo is hiding. Oh man, that's funny. Kareem is the name of that Phil Collins 2-pack track. What is the name of that Phil Collins 2-pack?
Oh, dude, that was sick. It's Meek Mill. The song is called Intro. It's really good, and it's a remix with Phil Collins. It's just like, it just gets my energy, right? And funny story, I don't know if you guys saw that, but it was actually a reply to Sonny Decree, because he was talking shit about HEX and everything like that, like about the big payday. And like he sent that tweet, asking for a friend, what happened to the price, blah, blah, blah. And you remember that night, I was actually on the syndicate for a little bit. I said, hey, guys, I'm going out. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
I was going, and then I saw some of the tweets, and I was like, hell no. You're not going to, what? So I sent 2 tweets. I sent one where I was like, because the price was already trending back up because he was calling like a crash, but it didn't happen. And then he was like, well, how do we feel? So I was like, you want some energy? I'm going to show you how the Hexicans are feeling about this big payday. So, and then I just got into the car, and then it was just like karma that it was in my playlist. And I just love it because, I'm a big Meek Mill fan. So it's like, we go way back for like, I'm a boss. I mean, I just got to this country and I was in Philadelphia, and I was like, yo, that was great. So I put this on, and then he comes in, I can feel, it's just like, and I got into the mood, and I remember the lyrics because I've, heard before. And then it's like, I get possessed almost, like the beat just dropped, and it's like, I'm a different person. It's like, it's just like I'm in the club almost, And the sound system in Tesla is pretty great.
So I just want to let you know that your zeal, your presence, your energy is really a testament to the American dream and what it's all about. And me being a Marine, fighting for that, and for people like you to come in here and realize that and take advantage of it, and grab it by the balls and do what you want with it, is a real testament to the sacrifices that the guys out there have made, because that's what it's for. This is what this place is for people to go out there with a free spirit and go and do things, and then be fucking grateful for it and be happy about it. And I don't need people thanking me. I need people showing me how appreciative they are of what they got, that those people gave them. Don't come up to me and fucking thank me for my service. I don't need that. I'm the one who went out there and did that and stood on that wall for my reasons. I don't need a thank you. I need to see you guys be appreciative of what you have and go out there and take advantage of it.
Show by doing actions. And
exactly,
that mindset is so important, because people don't realize that you say more by what you do than by what you say. And by having that attitude of gratitude, it actually allows you to tap into your full potential. It allows you to learn from others. It allows you to be coached. It allows you to see. And that's why, I went to college here, but all my American friends, the best advice I told them, hey, whenever you can, just travel, man. It doesn't have to be Africa. It could be Asia. It could be whatever, like quote unquote third world country, whatever you want to call it. Just go outside, see. Like when I read the stat about like half of the Americans don't have a passport because they don't see the need to use it, I'm like, yo, the world is big.
That's the truth, bro. That's the truth.
Sometimes you lack motivation, just go somewhere.
Now I'm going to be honest. Being a kid from LA, living out here in Southern California, I would have probably never went and saw the world. I've been to Mexico 100 times, to go down and do whatever we do down in Mexico. But I probably would have never traveled the world. But as a Marine, I traveled the world, and I saw what you're talking about. Now I didn't experience it like you did. I wasn't in that situation. I wasn't underneath the rule of that government. But I saw people that were under the rule of those governments. I've been to North and South Korea. Well, not North. I was at the DMZ. I've been to South Korea. I seen the difference between those two countries. I've been to the Philippines. I've been to Thailand. I've been, all over Asia. I've been all over, South America and Panama during the war and all of that stuff. I saw what these other people experienced, and I said, wow. And it gave me a different type of appreciation for what we have here. Now, I'm not going to say it gives me the same type of zeal that somebody who comes out of that, like is birthed out of that, and has to be pulled from that dirt and transplanted here. That's a whole separate experience. And I see it in people like you, and, on top of that, you've got raw talent and all these other things. So you just, you're like a fucking wild stallion, man. You got a lot going on, and you're a young man. So you got a lot of growing to go through and all that stuff. But just to see your appreciation and what you've done with what you've been given here, I really like to expose that to people, because really that's what, like, me and Gary went out and did. We stood on that wall for people like you, and everybody here has the same opportunity that you have to go and expose that and take advantage of that. And Gary's always giving, advice to everybody and said, hey, there's a whole bunch of fucking programs out here for you to take advantage of. All you got to do is tap into them. And it's really the only thing that's stopping any of you out there from doing any of that stuff, or understanding what HEX is, let's put that into perspective too, is that fucking 6 inches of space between here and here. That's the only thing that fucking limits that,
Amen.
and of course the experiences that you have in life might have an adjustment on it. Like my experience was different than dollar cost or Gary's or yours. And so, we all experience this American dream in our own way. But some of us who actually get to go out and see the rest of the world and go, oh shit, and come back here and go, God damn, I better take advantage of what we got here. That's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Amen.
That was great. I really appreciate that. I heard almost all of it, but I didn't catch if the attitude of gratitude was first said by RG or that was Kareem. Who said that first?
Kareem said the words. Yeah.
That's an amazing catchphrase. I mean, I've heard it maybe years ago, but the attitude of gratitude really does pay a lot. And it's not about, being submissive or simp or whatever to, some higher power or something like that. It is just having gratitude that you have a breath in your chest, that you have, vision in your eyes, that you have opportunity for you and your family. And it really is, people used to talk so much about what Steve Jobs accomplished during the course of his life, or what some other, maybe Einstein or something like that as an example, as a human being, and what they had completed over the arc of their life. Every single day of Steve Jobs' life, every day of his life had 24 hours, just like yours. Every week had 168 hours, just like yours. You have the same opportunity. And so the gratitude is that you have opportunity. It's not what you possess, it's other than you have opportunity. And in that moment is really where you can make all the difference in the world, whether it's financially or sense of fulfillment, or what you can give to others, or legacy. There's all kinds of reasons to have gratitude for opportunity.
Amen, Gary. Amen. I mean, this has been like my life hack. If someone were to say, Kareem, how do you went from, dirt poor, third world country block to like living the dream? It's that. It's so powerful because it puts you in the mindset of growth, learning, staying humble. You know what I mean? Like, because I remember the first time where, like, I made like, $1,000. I was like, yo, that's a lot of money, because it's the gratitude, right? And then same thing when I made $10,000, I was like, well, that's a lot of money. And because I stay grateful, I stay level-headed, and I realize the value of money, then I'm like, oh, wow, what else can I do? Like, how can I reinvest this so it doesn't go to waste? Who can I help? Family, friends, inner circle. Like, who else can I pull out of this situation that's like, that I can relate to, that, oh man, you've been through that same struggle. What can I do to help you? So, but it all starts from that attitude of gratitude. And when you lose that, like, just same way where you see those people like, win the lottery or big athlete and they lose their guidance and they go and they just like, they just implode. Some of the most successful people, they're some of the most humble, and they're like, they still go to see their parents and their grandma, and their family member talk to them like they're just the same kid that, they knew before they were famous or whatever. And I always find that fascinating. And having that one good thing, at least, that I love from back home is that, respect the elders and things like that, and really family oriented. Like, I remember hanging around the fire with my grandpa and just telling stories, like, like it's just little things like that. Like, you can't even put money on it. Like like right now, it's COVID, it's all crazy stuff. I'm just so thankful for, internet, to connect with people, have deep conversations, it's amazing.
Ross Hex said, Kareem's so positive. When Kareem drives through the toll booth, they hand him money. Hey, Shanae or Shonai, thanks for the follow. We appreciate you following us.
That's awesome, Ross. That's a good.
I hope you're getting some value out of the show here. I know that, man, a lot of the D-livers are a lot better at showing respect to all you guys than we are. Thanks for the lemons, Children Grave, Navik. Thanks for the lemons. Appreciate you. Where's the rest of it? Gosh dang it, I saw. Kareem is the GOAT. Navik just donated a diamond. Thank you, thank you.
That's awesome. Thanks,
and you know who else is? I'm sitting here freaking slobbering all over Kareem right now because he's here and he's jumped in and he started talking to us. He's new to the show, but I give a lot of props to my man Litecoin here too, or DC, because he's another one of those guys that has taken a hold of the American dream. I mean, every time I talk to him all day long, he's directing other people what to do. He's out in the field working with his crew and nonstop. And he did the 24-hour with us. He did the 24-hour with us and then went out and worked his crew all day, came back and then got on stream with us. And then he finally though, I'll tell you, he texted me and he says, "Hey bro, I gotta tap out, man. I gotta tap out." He was in the middle of drinking a cup of coffee and he was falling asleep. So it was like the man doesn't work harder than that. So, appreciate these guys and the example that they are. All three of them, Gary too. Gary is an example of people going out and finding out in the system. How can you go out there and make yourself better versus relying on anybody else, and I'm not going to say anything about people who work. We need people who work. I worked all my life. I've also owned businesses. I've been rich. I've been poor. I've been through the whole field. I like working for myself better. Sometimes in a volatile situation, working for the man works a little better. I've had it both ways. Right now, I'm about to take a big position where I'm going to be working for the man again, but in a very comfortable, very high level position. So it's going to be fun and good. But guys like Gary, have figured things out on how to go out and exploit the systems. How because that's the other thing that all three of you have done, and that's what an entrepreneurial mind does. Is it's like a system is laid out, just like HEX. The system is laid out, and you need to figure out how to operate within it. A lot of people don't see the forest through the trees when it comes to this stuff. They don't, and it's not that they don't have an entrepreneurial mind. They're looking at other things, and they're end up crashing into those things that they're staring at. It's the wrong direction. The 40-40-40 plan, work 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life for 40% of your freaking income. That's the 40-40-40 plan, and it's a losing plan. I've been doing that for 30 years of my life. Now, the only thing that's kept me afloat is that on the side of that and experiencing the value of that, I've also built businesses on the side, and I've always had a separate business, and I've always had my jobs. But I had to do that in order to survive out here. So it hasn't been easy. And also putting my mind and living in two worlds. But because of that, I've learned that there are two worlds. And I learned, so I went to motorcycle racing class. I raced Harley Davidsons, I drag raced Harley Davidsons. Built them, drag raced them. I did that for about 10, 12 years. And then I gave it up. I quit the daredevil shit. So when I was going to these dragster classes, one of the things that they first taught us was, when you're going that fast and you're on two wheels and you're very unstable, do not look at something that you're going to crash into. So if you're on that racetrack and there's a hazard, a time clock pole or a wall or another motorcycle or a body or something's in the road, you do not look at it. You look away and you look where you want to go, because if whatever you focus on is where you're going to end up. And that's a physical thing that happens in motorcycle racing. They teach you that when you're road racing, all that kind of stuff. Do not look at what your obstacle is. And I think that's the same in life and the same in in business and trying to be an entrepreneur. Don't look at those things that are going to crash you.
Right.
Don't look at going to find that job. Don't look at going, how can you dig into the people that people here that have been successful in business and have made it on their own and haven't had to rely on a system? How can you go and search those things out and look in the right direction so that you're not running into those obstacles? So that's what Hex is about. It's figuring out how to avoid the obstacles in Hex. And crypto has taught you to look at crypto in this trading / arbitrage / get in, get out, pump and dump.
Yeah.
That's the wrong place to look.
Yeah.
That's not what Hex is about. Hex is about a strategy, about listening to what's going on so you don't fud yourself out. Get connected with the people who are in the know what's going on. Know that the reason why we were all happy and calm when everything just happened and the whole rest of the world was running around with their hair on fire. And all the Hexicans were going, what are you guys fucking talking about, man? And it was like they were running around fucking on flames, it's crashing. Oh, big payday sucks. Oh, Richard fucked you guys. They were all running around in circles with their hair on fire. And we were all just going, this is fucking beautiful, guys. Do you just see what happened? Because we avoided the obstacles. And we've all been sitting here thinking about these things with entrepreneurial minds and open minds and going, look, this is what this is built to do. This is what the system is. And every guy here has figured out how to navigate systems. And that's what you need to do. You need to listen to the people who understand how to navigate systems and start learning. If you don't understand, just keep coming back in. Keep listening. Go to Gary's channel. Listen to Funding Jim. I mean, he's got all of his stuff, everything that he comes in here and talks about. He goes into in depth on his YouTube stream. You can go to his YouTube. It's Funding Jim, right? Yeah, you can go to Funding Jim on YouTube, subscribe to his stream, and all of that knowledge is there for free. And Kareem's, kind of new to our system here. He's going to be putting out a whole bunch of material. He's going to be digging into Hex and digging into the system and laying it out. And now DC Crypto. This man creeps and crawls in every freaking bad alley in crypto. If you want to know what's going on in crypto, if you're interested in all the other stuff, he's got a whole DC. What is your site or what is your thing that you do over there?
So I have you can just follow me at Dollar Cost Crypto on YouTube, Dollar Cost Crypto across all platforms, everything. And every Sunday I do a show with Cultivate Crypto called Moon Gang, where we get into the shit coins. So we call ourselves
shitcoin connoisseurs.
Connoisseurs, but it's more we get into coins a little bit, but we also just talk about sort of macro trends that a lot of people aren't talking about. Like that's why I'm so fucking confident that Hex is going to pump. I
really like the macro trend stuff because all of the influencers out there that are trying to be helpful, I guess, and recharge and do the TA and stuff. Salute. They're all they're all on micro level shit. Yeah. And it's useless. It's pissing into a fan, in my opinion, TA and short-term trading and crypto is a fucking death sentence. It sucks. It's worthless. It doesn't even work.
Yeah. Number one, they're missing out on the big picture. Number two, they're over trading to death and creating all kinds of taxable events. I mean, it's crazy. Like the market could go up and you still lose money. There's a funny saying in investing that says, I'm big about quotes. And if you don't understand why something is going up, you still won't understand why it's going down. And you will always lose in either situation. Yeah. Either you will sell too early, something, oh my God, I made 5X and it goes 100X. And that was your chance. Or when it's time to dollar cost or back up the truck, right? AKA big payday, you got one last chance. And by the way, as we speak, you still do. It was over a penny just a couple weeks back. Yeah. It's half that right now.
It is.
And it's a very Genesis share. You can still, So it's those things.
It's cheap and it's close to the Genesis share price.
And you get free information.
What's that? What's that?
That should be highlighted. That should be highlighted. You know, people see the dip and they say, "Oh my God, the dip! Oh my God, the dip!" You weren't going to exit anyway, but now you're concerned about the dip. It's like people talk about the house prices. They're like, "Hey, my kids are toddlers, but I'm never going to move. But oh my God, the house market went down. What the fuck? Why does it matter? You're not going to get out of that house anytime soon." So the same sort of thing. But if you're looking at and you say, "Okay, yes, the share rate went up at 16,000 or whatever it is recently, or something. It used to be 11." So the share rate, we talk about a lot about the share rate. We say, "Oh my gosh, here's this opportunity and you're going to miss it." Okay. Now you see that the price has come down to where it's at, 42 or whatever it is of a penny or something. Why not say, "Hey, I was going to put it in at 0.8 of a penny and I would have had this share rate." Okay. Now you got a 0.42 of a penny and you have a higher share rate. Why don't they balance each other? Just put in the same amount you would have put in anyway. You will balance yourself. So the opportunity has been extended in a lot of ways simply through the natural mechanism, the natural psychology of the market. So it's phenomenal.
Yep. Thanks, Rami, for the diamond. Appreciate it. And look, I filled all these guys' buckets. I call it bucket filling. I filled all their buckets because they deserve it, and they're not paying me to shill their stuff. They're not asking me to. They don't even come on here to. They've never, they've never directly, any of them.
And I love Richard's quote. I use that too. I don't have a link. You can't send me money.
And we don't do that here either. We, people donate the lemon thing. That's freaking cool. And we're putting all that back into production. It's all going back into production.
Exactly. We have our own secure bag based on the work that we do. Like RG said, like we have work, we have all the stuff like that. It's very important that you understand and take advantage of this opportunity. And more importantly, don't be afraid to ask questions. Some of the people already in the Telegram chat or whatever that gets to me, I told them, listen, I'll never talk down to you, never disrespect you for asking questions. Say, Kareem, I don't know. You have so much more respect, to me at least, if you come in and ask questions than pretend that you know something that you don't know, and then you're going to get wrecked, and then you're going to get pissed, and then you're going to become that bad review, right? Yeah. In business, they're going to go, oh my God. Like there was a hilarious tweet today. There's a guy that literally was trying to call HEX a scam, takes a picture about how he lost the money in the emergency instinct. And he was epic because he took a picture of stake in that app that clearly says, do not earn stake or you will lose 100%. Like it was the funniest thing. He was trying to call this thing and then he docks himself and make it look stupid because the picture that he uploaded it as proof clearly says, do not do this function or you will lose 100% of your fund.
They can't even FUD properly.
It's like, I don't read.
So by the way, what I'm saying is, Discourse Syndicate was to exploit all the hexagons is what it was for. It was to find the talent pool and expose them and give them to you guys for free. For free. These guys, all their knowledge, you're not going to get it from me. I don't know crypto like DC does. I don't know business finance and stuff like Funding Jim does. And I definitely don't have the energy of Kareem and what he's got going on. So you guys have these guys because I've given them a platform to do so. And that's what DS is for, is just to expose hexagons to you guys so that you guys can go follow them, dig into them and learn from them. If you're new, if you're in the chat room and you want to do these things, you want to get out there and know more, you want to learn more about crypto, you want to learn more about business finance, you want to learn more about, getting yourself up and moving and being appreciative and having an attitude of gratitude, follow these guys and steal it from them. See, that's what I love about what you can steal shit from people. You can steal knowledge from people. It's just out there for the taking. Everybody that is an entrepreneur is willing to help other people that come and ask, and it's just like stealing. All you got to do is ask them and they'll probably give it to you.
So I wanted to make a couple of comments that really fed into what RG just said and also Kareem just said. And also the amazing motivation and inspiration that Richard has been over the past couple of years of people who've been paying attention to what he does. He does say this thing, which is true, that you don't know my address, you can't give me money. And the wealth of knowledge that you can derive from the 1,000 hours of material that he puts out there over the years. So you have a wealth of knowledge that's available to you. However, psychology says that even when it's free knowledge, even if it's in their best interest and the best advice in the world you could possibly get,
you won't listen to it as much as the advice you pay for. It's just part of human nature.
That's true.
Someone says, don't do that. That's bad for you. You're going to discount it. Someone says, pay me $100 and I'll tell you what you shouldn't do. And you'll pay for it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because
Just like people buy the tops and sell the bottoms, man. It's
Yeah.
the same damn thing.
Yeah. So let me highlight what you're doing when you listen to a quote unquote influencer on YouTube. They are monetizing you. They are profiting from your attention. And it's not in their best interest to say, hey guys, out of all of my sleuthing, out of all of my research over the years of being an influencer and looking at 7,200 tokens that are on the crypto coin market cap page, out of all of those thousands of hours that I researched, I'm just going to stick with this one because this one seems to fit all of the models and all of the intentions and all the purpose of a financial vehicle. Even though I can't say it's a financial vehicle, the idea of crypto, this seems to live up to. They will not profit from that. Similarly, we can talk about HEX. We have for the past year. We will talk about it into the future and so forth. But let me give you a tiny bit of my background. My background, cowboy in North Texas, not really having any money at all, raised by a single mom, right? Pretty close to poor. At 16, I emancipated. I signed the paper so that I could be an adult and do my own contracts and things like that. Why? Because I wanted to have credit cards and shit. You couldn't do it before you were age 18. So 17, I joined the service. I joined the service not because I was militant, but because I wanted to see things and understand how people think outside of the bubble I knew. At 18, I deployed. I went overseas. I was in wars. I have combat medals. I have all kinds of recognition from my peers as a medic. So I was a special forces medic for several years, from age 18 until 22. During that time, hyperbaric chamber, recompressing scuba divers, jumping out of airplanes, doing all that kind of shit. Again, never militant. I was the weirdo that had a peace symbol on my uniform and a Marine Corps outfit. So that was my chapter of this era that RG and I talk about sometimes. Then I specialized. I got interested in something else. Again, not wealthy, military pay. You don't make dog shit for money. But I always had a curiosity on how to learn systems and learn how things operate and functions, right? So I went into something that I was curious about, and that happened to be more medical stuff and more specialization. When it comes to the crypto stuff that I put out there, when it comes to the funding gym stuff that I put out there, one of the reasons that I do charge for it is because otherwise people will not value it. They won't act on it. They have to have some kind of price point in order for them to listen. If your next door neighbor says, hey, I'm going to come over to your front living room and tell you about all the things you want to know, you won't value it because it didn't travel very far, and you won't value it because you didn't have to pay for it. Someone that comes from a distance, you respect more psychologically. These people are in your living room right now. They're in your cell phone right now. They're in your laptop right now because we're broadcasting on YouTube or on DLive. But don't devalue what they're giving you. They're giving you of their time, their resources, their knowledge. They're diluting their own opportunities in marketplace for things that they could be doing to teach you how to be their competitor. There's a lot of stuff that you can learn from Discourse, from Hexologist, from Richard Hart, from Dollar Cost, from Kareem, from me, from RG3, because of our experience. We have in this room alone at least 150 years. Well, if I add RG, maybe like 200 years worth of knowledge, right? We have a lot of knowledge here. So as long as you respect that, we're going to give like a geyser. We're going to give like a fountain. When it comes to crypto, I don't know enough other than my own war wounds and the ones I've healed from and the ones I've recovered from. When it comes to wealth, I've been a multimillionaire several times over, and I've been broke several times over. It's not because I'm ADD or risk intention and I blow it. It's just because I go through phases psychologically every so often where I become very angry at being materialistic or being possessing things or whatever. I'll go through weird phases every so often. And yeah, so that's one of the reasons why my charities have to do with suicide prevention programs, because I see young men go through these cycles too, and I want to give back. So I have Funding Gym, but it's about business and it's about entrepreneurialism and about self-serving, serving yourself, right? Serving others.
Amen.
It's not to profit. I don't really need any of the money that comes from any of these things. They actually were hobbies up until HEX came around. I was like, I'll do it for my friends. I'll help people that don't know how to properly buy an apartment building and get that to be cash flowing. I'll help them, right? I'm not like a complete philanthropist,
Like, okay, I'll teach you because I'll be a partner in there with you, in the trenches with you on this project. But I'm at a point where I don't have to do that. But I do get a lot out of giving to other people, and I want them to value my time. I want them to value themselves, and I want them to value their own investment into their future. So that's why I do funding gym stuff. That's why I come on these streams. That's why I produce content. That's why I made videos earlier today that I'll distribute to people later. It's not because I want to profit like a influencer. It's simply I want to build the community, and I want others to flourish as well.
Amen. Well said. And just one last thing I wanted to piggyback on that, which is so powerful. What I've learned from one of my biggest mentors is that true successful people, and especially in business or in life, they understand that the success never comes from a zero-sum game. They understand that they can be massively successful and you can be too. Like at my work is something that I've never been afraid to, like, again, work with the people that are really hungry, that want to be successful and share the knowledge and not like hide it, like those people that are so scared. And a lot of those influencers, that's that they're afraid to be replaced. And that's why they become parasitic, because they don't really know what else to do. They never really had a business, they never really learned how to do all this other stuff. So they have to just keep scamming and do those other little things because they feel like if they lose that, they don't have anything else. Mm-hmm. They never learn how to like build themselves. So they sound all this, desperation almost. So, and that's very, very important, and be able to see that. I can see that in Jim. I can see that in RG and Dollar Cost, because you can see that even if Hex didn't come along or whatever, they were already successful and they were already doing things to help themselves, their community, and people around it. And this is why we want to do this over here. And it's a good signal when you're trying to look up to somebody or learn from somebody, trying to pick up on that. Like, are those people willing to share, or are they always trying to keep you close, but like not really in the know? And by the way, whether you pay or not, like there's still people those, even if you pay a lot, they'll still like not give you the full thing just so that he can screw you. You know what I mean? But the really successful people, they're like, no, I give you the whole thing. Why? Because I understand that it's about taking massive action. I can give you the whole plan, but I'm like, are you going to do it? Because I know I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be doing it the same way I onboarded all my family members and my friends. I'm like, listen, after they all understood, I was like, you don't have to invest a penny. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm going to be successful. Watch me. You have watched me in the past. You have seen my trajectory. This is going to happen with or without you. You want to come on board? I'll help you. This is what you need to do, because my time is valuable. But this is what you need to do. But that's the play. It's not like, hey, I need your money to come in because I'm like, no, this is not a Ponzi here. It's a vehicle that can really create wealth, change your life. And you just have this beautiful property where you can help yourself and help others at the same time. That's what makes it magical.
Becoming wealthy is, again, I don't want to take away from it being a struggle in some ways, but there's a billion ways to become a millionaire. You can become wildly wealthy in lots of different ways, but are you willing to do it, really? Because Richard talks about fitness and about getting more fit. He knows what is necessary, but he's not willing to do it in every capacity. He knows what it takes to become wealthy, and he obviously does do it, right? So we have our choices as we go through life about what our intention is and what we really want to do versus what we'll get around to later, right? It's very powerful what Kareem said about taking action. If you sat down with Warren Buffett and he says, here's how I got here, and this is what you got to do, 10% of the people that sit down with him would do it, or less, right? Most people would say, that was an interesting night. Here's my selfie with Buffett, and put it on their Instagram, and that was their moment. That's it.
Who am I sitting down with?
Yeah, there's this one guy, right? Exactly.
So there's a lot of those out there, dude. There's a lot of people who don't know who Warren Buffett is.
Or whomever you respect, even if it says a rapper like Jay-Z. Do you think he had struggles? Yeah, he had struggles.
All those people.
Yeah. Are you willing to do it, right? So
are you hungry enough? Right? E.T.
Hey, so it's getting late, guys. I want to thank you both for coming on and hanging with us. And more and more of this is what we're going to show on Discourse Syndicate. Look, we've got mental health experts, we've got business experts, we've got motivational experts, we've got physical fitness experts, we've got crypto experts. the whole community is full of gems, and we're going to show every facet of that here on the show. We're going to continue to move forward. We're going to continue to bring you entertainment and freaking the same old fart jokes and shit talk and all that other stuff, and hot girls and guys acting stupid and all that good stuff.
Fun too.
we're gonna have all the fun, but we're gonna bring the facets of Hex community to light and continue with Discourse Syndicate. Even though AA is over, big payday's over, we're not done. We've got a lot more that we can do here. There's a lot more help and information out in the community, and all of these people are building their own platforms and making them stronger, and the Hex community is getting involved. And I think we're going to blossom into something really, really interesting, and I think it's going to be really good for crypto, and then for the world in general, because of the way that we're all talking, the way we're all communicating. We're talking about helping people. We're talking about getting involved in people's lives, physically, financial, spiritually, mentally, all these different things, to help better each other. I would call them 5 pillars, and I'll talk about that one other time, some other time. But if you can lift all of those things and help people to improve all of those areas of their life, then you're providing value. And to be able to do it for free and keep it on a shoestring budget and do it for fun, and then of course using Hex as our platform, as our financial vehicle, as our financial store of wealth and value. That's going to be amazing to be able to share to people on top of all of the information that we have. So thanks, Gary, again, always for being one of our cutthroats and coming on. Thanks for Kareem. I'm going to say goodbye to you both, and then me and DC are going to finish it up. So thanks for coming on, guys.
No, thank you. Thanks for having us. And then again, keep on keeping on. And guys, what's amazing is all that is possible also because you don't have to freaking trade all the time. You're actually getting your life back so you can do the other things,
Yep. Thanks, Kareem.
Yeah, so check my channel. I'm releasing stuff soon, and it's about rolling over money, and then that money, through active growth of money, just putting it into Hex and let the code do the rest. So reach out to me either through DM or through my website. Have a good day.
Thanks, Gary. Have a good one.
Bye.
Oops.
Oh. Yes, I'm Gary. Gary.
All right, bro. So our show is starting to morph into like freaking, showing off the people of Hex and all the different facets and
the mindsets are crazy. I mean, the mindsets are so diverse and stuff, but it's all towards like long-term thinking, which is great, because even if your long-term thinking is only a year or 2 years, dude, crypto's long-term thinking is just like, hey, what did the news say today? I'm gonna do that, the opposite, or the same thing as the news. That's the long-term. So if that's all you get from Hex, man, dude, you're winning already. Just being able to think a little more ahead,
Yep. Get your bags. Get your share price today. It's the bargain of the century right now. It's the bargain of the century. Just remember, share price isn't as high as it could be, and the Hex price definitely isn't as high as it could be. So we're at a bargain basement for both things. So you're in a good position. Don't feel like you missed the boat because big payday and the AA is over. It is a whole new ball game now in Hex, and the future is definitely bright. So, all right, everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate you on Discourse Syndicate, and we'll see you guys all. Probably going to see us on Monday. Yeah, definitely you'll see us on Monday, and we should be getting close to our VP status. I think by Wednesday we'll be on VP. So everybody have a good one. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you on short notice. Take care. Thanks for all the lemons, all the diamonds. You guys freaking rock. DLive and YouTube. Later. Let's see. Where's the fucking button at, dude?
Stake your Hex! Oh boy, this is Mickey Mouse here saying, stake your Hex! Nope.
you bitch! 5.5!